You know,
What's going on, man?
I'm a little
It's Frank
disappointed.
Starfire.
Nice to meet you.
And, I'm a simple guy, and I live my life by really simple means, you know what I mean?
It's an
And,
amazing
I live
place.
by simple mottos and credos
You
and
know.
phrases and everything because it works for me, you know what I mean?
Wonderful
Lately,
cactus.
I've adopted a new... Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Frank Starfire, and this here is the Just to Be Frank podcast. With me this evening is going to be one of my dearest friends who is coincidentally, and I can say this, probably one of the only people I know that is actually more intelligent than me. No, I'm going to have my friend Melanie Almeyda in here with us. And we're going to be discussing, amongst other things, the last 4 years and this shit and all that. I haven't seen her in 4 years, so this will be a very, very fun thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to talking to her, so I'm just going to go ahead and bring her in, and we're going to get right to it. Word up. Scholar, entrepreneur, Melanie Almeyda, everybody. Melly Mel, you are sideways. Sorry. Wait, what? I'm recording.
Sorry, I'm like, what the hell?
You're sideways. There you go.
Better?
Eons.
Sorry.
No, you ain't got to apologize. How the hell are you, Melly Mel?
I'm good. How you doing?
Well, I ain't seen you in 4 years, yo.
I know.
How
crazy is
the
that?
whole fucking term. The whole fucking...
I can't. Like, time flies, right?
It really does. It really
It's worse. It's worse when you're older. You're like, wait a minute, where the hell is all the time
What
going?
you talking about? Old? I ain't old. Fuck you.
No. Well,
I ain't
not
old.
you.
I'm not old.
Not you. I definitely am getting there.
Please, girl.
No, serious.
look
As soon as I
exactly
hit 30, I was like, oh, my back.
Did you finally... You're right.
Not kidding.
You're right.
Not kidding.
Your knees start to shake a little extra.
Yeah. And so I try to do the most, trying to get my exercise in and stuff. I'm like, nah, I gotta go up these stairs.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Are you still in Queens?
No. I am not. My stint in Queens was very, very short, actually. It was just so far, I was still working in the city.
Oh.
Well, I was still working in Manhattan, and the commute wasn't terrible. The train ride was, but I loved it. My apartment was amazing. You would have loved it. I guess I got lucky.
I know what side of town you was on. I used to live over there very briefly.
No, but I'm talking about like the actual apartment was so dope. Yeah, I absolutely loved it.
You know what?
But anyway, I moved back to Brooklyn.
Okay, I ain't mad at that.
Yeah.
Yo, look,
yeah.
I'm gonna put you on the game real quick. All right. 5 bedroom, 3 bath, $13.75 a month.
Listen, sounds good.
That's what I'm in right.
Moving out there.
Listen, why? Because the commute to New York is too far. You drive, don't you?
No, I don't.
You don't drive yet? Come on, girl. I thought you'd had your license well before I had mine.
Well, that's right. I'm just a little spoiled. You don't even know.
Oh, right. I forget that.
Yeah, you know.
I do forget that. Yes, you are. I forget these things.
Yeah, so everywhere I go, I'm like, oh, okay, I have a ride. My man drives. But my family spoils me too. They're just like, oh, we'll take you. We'll do this.
How is the family? How's your mom and everybody?
They're good. They're so good. Growing. It's crazy.
Word,
yeah.
The baby ain't a baby no more, right? Baby,
no.
Big now.
There's new babies.
There's new baby. Oh, Jesus.
I have 13 nieces and nephews.
Heaven
13.
You.
I know. This light is killing me. I know, it's crazy. And my sister's pregnant.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
You ain't lose nobody to this COVID shit, right?
No. Not anybody not immediate, not my family.
Yeah.
There's people that I do I guess I did know that,
Mhm.
passed. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, listen, I lost. Well, I didn't lose anybody to COVID, as far as I know. My brother Vega, his grandmom's just passed on the 19th, and my
No.
oldest brother, I think, passed on the 1st.
Oh,
So
Shizer.
yeah,
That's terrible. I'm sorry.
I forgot you say that.
What? Oh, Shizer, eh?
Yes, I
I
forgot you
know.
say that.
It's funny because it's like everybody says, everybody like they know what it is now. If they don't say it, they know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, I know what it is now, man. Good, man.
Yeah.
Yo, look, I want to show you something.
Mhm. I didn't forget that you have that.
Still on my bookshelf. You know what I'm
Ah,
saying?
but did you read it?
I read it and now I have to reread it because I ain't gonna lie, I forgot a lot of
No, it's okay. It's
it.
okay. That's
But
why I don't give books away.
yeah,
With books, I'm
well,
such a
yeah,
hoarder.
I know.
But
I
that
believe it.
book is actually really
You
good.
still have my book?
Of course,
Did you read it?
of course. I didn't finish it. I didn't
No,
finish
that's
it.
okay. That's
And,
okay.
and the thing is, like, it's terrible because I have books to read
Mm-hmm.
and I never finish them. Not all of them. I should say I have books to read and then I end up going to buy more.
Uh-huh.
But there I do finish most of them. Right now I'm reading President Obama's book.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the beginning stages and I love them so much. So
I
just reading the book makes me happy. I feel like I'm getting to
I
know
feel like
him.
I am not mad at that one little bit.
You
And
This one I feel like you have to read though.
oh yeah, Obama's book I'm gonna read. I haven't, because I ain't gonna lie, I've done everything in my power over the
Yeah.
last 4 years to avoid parlor tricks as much as possible.
Politics.
Parlor tricks. That's what I call it. You know what I'm saying? Because
I
while they
get it.
while they're doing something up here, they doing some dirty shit underhanded. You know what I'm saying? Like a real magician.
I get it.
So I went out of my way to kind of, now obviously you can't avoid it, but
Mm.
just interacting, and I kind of taken a back seat to it. And this is probably going to be the official first time I even talk about any form of politics. And the only reason I'm
Okay.
doing it with you is because I know you're way more politically inclined than I am. And you
Ah,
might have nuances that I might not understand. And I just always love debating with you because, it's always fun. It's
well,
always fun.
I'm definitely not like a professional political commentator.
No, not
I
at
just
all. But
have strong opinions.
listen, I just host a podcast, girl. Come on now. That's all I
I'm
do.
just saying. I'm
All I
just
do,
saying.
man. I'm just here
That's
to host.
funny.
But but it's funny, man, because I remember you and I both were under the impression that what happened wouldn't have happened. We didn't expect Trump to win. We
Right?
were both blown away, and
Right?
then it didn't it didn't seem real at first, honestly.
Yeah.
But I also I don't know. I wasn't mad, but I wasn't happy about it. But I wasn't mad. It was like it was like both choices were like, yeah, all right, I can dip my hand in some shit or I can dip my hand in some vomit. Either way, I'm fucked. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying?
I get
And
it.
that's how I
I
looked
get
at
it.
Hillary Clinton. You know what I'm saying? I looked at her the same way. Like I didn't want to vote for her. You know what I'm saying? I
I get
I
that.
didn't want to. I would have preferred anybody else, any other one.
Well, who? Who that was running against her would you have preferred?
Well, I don't know about who was running against her, but I probably would have given Elizabeth Warren the vote. If
Yeah, me
Tul-
too.
I don't know if you know Tulsi Gabbard, but I fucks with Tulsi
Yeah,
Gabbard. I fucks with
you
Tulsi.
do?
I do, and the reason I fucks with Tulsi Gabbard is because while she, number one, I'm not like, listen, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican
Hmm.
or a Democrat. I am here in Pennsylvania. I am registered as unaffiliated. I vote for who the fuck I want to vote for.
Okay.
And because I believe in objectivity, I want to be able to see both sides of the equation. Now, do I lean a little more left than right? Yes. You know what I'm saying? But I like Tulsi Gabbard because she seems about the same. She leans to the left, but she's not exactly all the way to it. You understand what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Being a military veteran, that also gives me something to look at and be like, all right, she knows how to lead. She knows how to You know what I'm saying? She knows how to take orders. She knows how to do the shit. She understands the ins and outs of foreign diplomacy and da 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 da. So
Yeah.
I'd have voted for Tulsi Gabbard. You know what I mean? And on the Republican
I
side,
don't. Yeah.
I'd have voted for Dan Crenshaw. I like Dan Crenshaw.
Here's the thing, right? I think that a lot of politics, and again, like I'm still biased, right?
Mhm.
Um because I and the thing and still ignorant to a degree. Like I know things about some people and I know some things about some people. So I don't know
I don't.
every senator and congressperson's
Me
name
either. But
and
those,
what they stand for.
yeah.
But I'm a registered Democrat,
Hmm.
but I don't I'm not loyal to party, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I feel like if somebody has good policies or, good ideas that they're bringing to the table or that they stand for good things, for me that's all that matters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So whether they were independent, Republican, Democrat, whatever, I'm not loyal to that,
Right.
you know?
Which
Now
which I think
with
is a way that everybody should be, honestly.
absolutely, absolutely. Because then, if not, then it's just about exclusivity, and I'm not really about that, you know. Like I think that what's crazy during these past 4 years, it's been absolutely bonkers. I was literally talking to my man yesterday, like, I'm not, and yeah, I'm hella sensitive. Some people don't know it's because I'm a thug, but
Really?
I'm actually really sensitive. And I was watching the inauguration while I was at work. And just, I think for me, just about what it stood for, like seeing Kamala and obviously seeing like a little bit of solidarity, even with past presidents. Um, some Congress people were there. Like, I still think that although life is life, right? Like there was some type of solidarity. And I know it's, semi for show, but I was super hype about Kamala, and its representation matters. So I was like, oh shit, I'm actually feeling a little emotional, you
Yeah.
know?
Which is
Now I'm not
understandable.
under the impression that shit is gonna change overnight and like black people are not still gonna be getting killed. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that we
Well,
still live in
that
America.
should taper off a little bit, but not that much.
I would hope that, the hope is, right? Every every couple years we're voting for people in our local government. We're voting for people. Every 4 years we're voting for a president. And you would hope that these people were putting things in place that would help equal the playing field. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm of the opinion, and this is because now I ain't gonna lie, I didn't vote for Joe Biden. I voted for
Okay.
I voted for Joe Jorgensen, the Libertarian
Okay.
candidate, because I felt like her policies were actually a lot more in line with what I was looking for, and I like the Libertarian ideal of let us protect the shores and fix the budget. The states can deal with y'all. I like that. It's really hands off, but I kind of like that.
Yeah, but
Um,
if you're hands off, like,
well, I mean, listen,
it-
basically libertarians say, let us take care of the important shit, and you governors and mayors do your fucking jobs.
yeah,
You state senators and congress people do your fucking jobs.
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah, it's
that's the
good.
idea behind that, and I can dig that because I feel the same way. But I'm also of the opinion that the Constitution itself, while it is a hell of a document,
Yeah.
it's a good basis, but it was written by a feather by candlelight. So maybe it's time to update the document just a little bit.
I'm 100% with you.
You know,
I'm always talking about that. Like people, not people, our country, like citizens, I guess, are just completely out there enamored with this document as if it can't be amended. It
well,
can be.
but that's the
Like I
thing.
don't, they stay
They've
away
added
from that.
amendments. They've added amendments, but amending a law doesn't change the original law on the books. So if I'm a good lawyer, I can interpret any aspect of the law that you've amended.
That's true.
You know what I'm
That's true.
saying? So,
That's true.
you know,
But, the last time it was amended was after Martin Luther King was killed.
Right.
That's too long ago.
That's
You know
way
what I'm
too long
saying?
ago.
And I do think that, like, from when it was written to when it was amended, there hasn't been many changes. And that document is literally just the foundation. That's just a basis. We can change it and add to it as time changes, you know?
I
Like, life is not the same
I think
from when it was written till
at
now. So it
all.
has to be changed.
Right. Well, think about it. When it was written, you and I were considered 3/5 of human beings.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Me as a black
That's
man, you
right.
as a woman, and a black woman. So shit, you was double the fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
And I think still are. That hasn't
Well,
changed.
that hasn't changed, but what has changed is that you have the opportunity to voice your opinion and not be stoned to death for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's true.
That's progress. It ain't much, but hey, that's progress. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. Yeah,
So
definitely.
we're not being actively lynched anymore, but at the same time, prison.
We're being jailed.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? We still got prisons, and
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying. So all like and privately owned prisons should be illegal. Like you should
I
not be able
agree.
to profit off of people.
I agree.
But
I'm
these
100% with that.
but these things are things that need to be addressed.
Yeah.
Now, do we have any faith that this administration is going to be any better at it than the last administration?
Well, here's the thing, right? We would hope when things are signed in, there are some instances where you start to see changes happen quickly,
Mhm.
right? But there were a lot of things, let's say during Obama's administration, that weren't really put forth, or they didn't really play out until Trump's administration, you
Right,
know?
right, right,
And so things do really take a long time.
right.
So all of the accolades that Trump was getting, um, for whatever good that may have
Was
happened,
stuff that
not every
Obama had
that's
done.
right.
Right,
Yeah. So
right.
not all of it, but most of it, you know?
Now,
And, go ahead.
no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, it's okay.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and it feels weird to do it in this instance, but
No, do it.
I have to tip my hat to Donald Trump. And I'm gonna tell you
Why?
why. Did you read his list of pardons?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God, Mel.
Was.
70 to 80% of the people he pardoned
Hmm.
were nonviolent drug offenders for marijuana. Black people.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. That's what I say.
Uh,
I'll tip my hat. Listen, if there's one thing that he did in his presidency that I will give him some kudos on, it's for
mhm.
whatever. I'm not entirely sure of exactly what. I have to research it a bit more. This is why I need a producer to Google this shit. But I have to, I have
You do
to,
need a
I
producer.
need a Jamie. You know what I'm saying? But I got to get, I want to see what his prison and criminal justice reform actually was and did. Because it was done, and there has been some good as far as that goes. You know what I'm saying? And that's at least one thing that he did that I can say, hey, you know what? Positive. Good job.
You know what's the issue with what you're saying? Is that you're like the one thing I could give him
I
credit
know.
for.
I know.
So as the person who holds the highest office in this country, or in the world for that matter, the standard should be good.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
do
Like,
we
you should be doing these types of things.
but
We should not be surprised that he did it, but because of the way he ran his
right.
presidency, just as a person. And it I honestly, honest to God, I felt like I was living a nightmare just because of the things that he would say. And I think, right, like with whatever position I hold, I want to stay true to myself, right?
Right.
But there's this kind of, there has to be some type of respect
Right.
to your title. And he didn't have a job that was normal. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
that is
he
not
wasn't selling shampoos.
right. That's not a normal job. You know what I'm
It's
saying? And
not.
and
So
I
you
think
can't behave like an average person. An
right. You
average
have to
person
be
would. make fun of people and
yeah,
talk shit
yeah.
and be cursing
Right.
and lying in front
So,
of other, like, even
so,
the lying shit was
so,
just, it was just bugged out for me.
right. So then, what the fuck? All right. So if we're normal human beings now, does living in New York City alter our perceptions of things? Like we're not the Midwestern, Southern, like people here in Pennsylvania. Like we're not like I don't understand the fanaticism of it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I understand people rocking with the Republic. You know, if you're a Republican and he's the cool, I understand that. If you don't really know much about politics, but you know, hey, my family's always been Republican. I'm voting Republican. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It makes you a little ignorant, but it also, and when I say ignorant, I'm looking at the root word of that word, which is means to ignore. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So if you look at the root word of the word ignorant, you say it means to ignore, and to me, it means like to ignore facts presented. You know what I'm saying? To
Mm-hmm.
maintain blissful ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to maintain that level of happy that you have, so you just ignore the shit that you don't that doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
I
Um,
understand. I also think, ignorance could just be you're not savvy. You just don't know enough. You know what I'm
true.
saying? I don't know
Okay.
if it's some people, yes, they would like to maintain that. Like they don't want to know new things, but other people, they're ignorant because they haven't been taught it. I
Mm.
don't know if I'm agreeing or disagreeing with you.
I mean,
I might
I don't.
I
I'm
might
just
be
looking.
agreeing
Like I
with
say,
you.
I look at the verbiage of things, and but what I don't understand is the complete and utter fanaticism. Now, I
Mhm.
personally know many people who supported Donald Trump. They're friends of
Yeah,
mine. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I didn't lose any friends over this thing. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I laughed at them a bit. You know what I'm saying? We
Why? Because
debated
he
back.
lost?
No, no, no. Just I mean, in general, like
Or things that have
yeah,
happened and
even
shit.
before all that, like because the truth of the matter is, I ain't gonna lie. To me,
Mhm.
unless you make a certain amount of money, who the president is doesn't really affect you.
Um, you're
I'm,
you're right and not.
it's no, it's right and
Be-
wrong. That's definitely right and wrong.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I think that there's definitely things that there's things that I care about. Like I care about, poor people being helped. I care about poor people not being jailed. I
For
care
being
about
poor,
black people not being killed.
right?
Like there are things that I just care about, and I want whoever the president is to care about those things too.
But
So, like Donald Trump's campaign, although his slogan was "Make America Great Again," for and the smart thing about them, I think, is that you don't know what they were talking about.
right,
It was just their
it
slogan,
was
and
very vague. You know,
yeah. But then you see people, and you're like, wait a minute. You see how what his supporters not only look like, but how they behave and how they interpreted that. So then, because they interpreted it that way, we're like, oh hell no, make America great again. When? When was that time? Because
right?
it hasn't been good for black and brown people. So
Now,
I just think that in like up close, it may not matter to you,
right,
but everything that he's signing, every bill he's putting
right. You
into
have to look
place,
at those
it
things. Yeah,
matters.
yeah,
It matters.
right. It really
But I
does.
think that it to answer your question, even in New York, you experience racism. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying racism that.
I
Um, but I don't. It's a little more, it's more liberal,
right, right, right.
it's and there it's I don't want to say a melting pot because
I
I
mean,
just hate that
well,
saying.
I mean, but it is yeah, it is a fucked up saying, honestly, if you really think about it.
We're
But
definitely a blue state, like
it
we
is
always vote blue,
right,
and
which
I
is,
just don't.
but
Go
is
ahead,
that
I'm sorry.
always the right thing? You know what I'm
To
saying?
vote blue.
Yeah,
No,
because
I think it's
if
what's always normal is that we vote liberal.
right,
So
but again,
whoever is reflecting what, but this is the thing. It's the middle of the country that's really red. And it's weirdly so that they're really conservative.
Well,
But I say conservative.
right. Well,
Like
let's look at the state of, what is it? Is it Mississippi or Alabama? I forget which one it is. One of those two states. They
mhm,
have always voted red. Like they've always gone Republican. But they
mhm.
are also the poorest state
Yeah.
of the 50.
Yeah.
Always. Like they make
Yeah.
no money, they have no infrastructure, like everything is just fucked up.
And it's the bigger cities like New York and Pennsylvania
Right.
and California that really hold up these states.
To a degree.
No, 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 no. It's
Like
true.
because it's the
Like
things
they're
we
so
get.
poor. So
Right.
for the states that obviously cost of living is um a lot cheaper, where there's like a lot of poor people,
Hmm.
um
But that's due to
taxes
redlining.
from and this is what's important. Like the people that we're voting in, like I need that to be like
Abolished.
a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have to change that. Otherwise, people are just gonna continue to stay poor and generationally,
Right.
it's
Well, I
not
mean,
good.
okay, let's look at let's ask ourselves this, all right? If what the people in the Midwest, they're poor because their jobs were literally shipped overseas. All those factories and all that, that's where they worked. And then those jobs got taken away and moved to China
Yeah,
and Mexico and all that. Now,
yeah.
who's at fault for that?
No, it's definitely not their fault. It's
You know what I'm
definitely
saying?
not their
So
fault.
so if somebody comes in, they slick talking New Yorker, sorta. But but he's
Yeah.
telling them, I'm gonna bring your job back. Like, yo, I mean, that sounds like something if I'm living over there, I want that. I want my job back.
But it's the native. Okay, the thing is, the people that are running for office in these places
Mm-hmm.
are from these places.
Exactly.
Who you're voting for needs to be able to, obviously, it's not just the states though. I think that corporations, like, why would Amazon want to come to New York City? Well, like, New York City doesn't need you right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
go to
Yeah.
fucking
Bumfuck
West Bubble in the
Idaho,
middle. Who
which I
knows?
think is a real place, honestly.
Shut up. But things like that are important. Like, these big companies need to kind of be spread out everywhere. Like, isn't
Well,
Tesla in Texas now?
Tesla moved to Texas, yeah, because
Yeah.
well, I mean, look, I ain't gonna lie. Literally, I think that honestly, everybody moving to Texas right now, that's
Yeah.
all Joe Rogan's fault.
Joe Rogan?
That's Joe Rogan's fault.
I don't even know who that is.
You don't
Who's
know
that?
Joe? You're all right. Whoa.
Please don't
Oh,
embarrass me.
oh,
Just school
nah.
me.
Listen, you watched Fear Factor,
I've watched it before, yeah.
the host of Fear Factor, that dude.
Oh, and he lives in Texas?
Well,
Why
he
would
does
people want to
now.
move
He
there?
lived in California. Okay, so
Oh,
real quick, and I don't have any whiskey because normally I have to take a shot every time I say his name. He's the one who
okay.
kind of inspired this for me. You know what I
Okay.
mean? But I'll briefly try and explain who Joe Rogan is. Joe Rogan is
Okay.
a stand-up comic, one of the best. He has the number one podcast in the world, the Joe Rogan
Oh.
Experience. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I
Which
didn't know
basically,
that.
yeah, he sits down and he just does this. He sits there and converses with people for 3 hours. And you'd be surprised when
Oh.
3 hours passes, but you didn't learn so much. Like you got to go back. Like if you go on YouTube and go look at the episode with Bernie Sanders, his episode with Tulsi Gabbard, his episode with Kanye.
Oh.
Yeah, like he talks to any, and he had on Dr. Carl Hart, who is I think a neurophysicist, but he's also an avid drug user, and he's a proponent of using recreational drugs, all
What kind of
drugs,
drugs though?
all drugs,
All?
heroin, meth, crack, like, and mind you, he's a scientist. Like this is,
Shut
but
up.
he's a black dude with locks, all that shit. If there's a YouTube documentary, there's a documentary on Netflix right now that he's in. I forget what it's called, but he's so fucking smart. I'm sitting there listening to him like, damn, maybe I do want to take some heroin.
I don't think so.
No, I'm not
Not
doing that shit.
me.
I smoke. You see me? I'm smoking this whole joint, man. I'm good.
Yeah, please.
But
Let that
nah.
be the
But he
extent.
smokes weed too. But he's like, but again, since he's a scientist, he knows how to get. And he lives in Switzerland and New York. But he gets that good clean shit, not stepped on like we get in the hood, like anybody would get in the
That's
hood,
right.
you know.
That's right.
Um, but he has on all these different types of people, and he just has conversations with, you know, his friends, other stand up comics. One of his best friends is Dave Chappelle.
You know, I love Dave
I
Chappelle.
love him too. You know what I'm saying?
And like, because I really feel like he's mad fucking smart. Like, not just funny, but like,
He's
hell, just
super
aware. Like,
intelligent. His mom is super intelligent. Like he's a super intelligent person, but his
yeah,
skills in observation.
yeah. And he's a great storyteller.
Oh my God, he's one of the best.
Yeah,
He's largely considered to amongst stand up comics. He's considered right now to be the GOAT.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I think so.
Amongst stand up comics. They
Yeah.
consider him the GOAT. You know what I'm
No, I
saying?
think he's
And
definitely it. And I think that I'm more like, not I think, I'm more of a fan like than ever actually.
that
Just
18,
watching
that
like
18, yeah. Like
just
all his
no, I've
recent,
watched several of
yeah.
his recent stuff, and then the Chappelle show came on Netflix, right?
Yeah, and then he asked them to take it down. I'm gonna lag a little bit apparently, but he asked them to
It's
take it
okay.
down
Mhm.
to because they're not Comedy Central's not paying him
Yeah.
for
And
it.
he mentioned that too on
Yeah, and
who's that somebody show?
yeah, well he didn't.
Larry
I
no.
forget,
Was
it
who
might have been I forget who he was on, but he did a whole stand up like comedy bit about it. The whole
yeah.
story. He's
No, I think he was on David Letterman was interviewing him as well, I think.
right. For my next guest.
Yes.
For my next
I
guest.
love that show too.
It's a good
Yeah.
show. It's a
Yeah.
fucking show.
It's really I like getting to know people without all the hype and the buzz about their celebrity. You know what I'm saying?
And this
Like
is why
it's cool.
you would love the Joe Rogan experience because while
All
he
right.
is the
I'm
stand
gonna
up,
listen to
I
it.
know I'm probably like honestly he'll be the first to tell you I'm a fucking he's a fucking moron. He'll say it. But he smokes weed, he takes shrooms, and he did a
Yeah.
whole 4 hour podcast microdosed on shrooms with what's that damn person with the damn Post Malone. They was microdosed
Really?
on shrooms the whole time, 4 hours, just
Oh
talking
my
shit,
God.
and it was fantastic. I got to know more about Post Malone in those 4 hours than I ever would listen to his music. I won't listen to his music, but I think he's an interesting person.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn, is he interesting?
He really is actually. He's funny. You know what I'm saying? He's he's got a very weird sense of humor, and I enjoy his personality. You know what I'm saying? He's got a couple songs that I actually do enjoy, but I'm not
Me
gonna sit there and
too.
buy
It's
an
like I
album.
hate to be a fan,
Right. I'm not
but
a fan. I'm not a fan of anybody like that.
yo, it's
Um,
so funny because you sound like me. I'm always like, yeah, I'm not a fan of anybody,
yeah. I
but
love
I'm a liar because
right. No,
there's
I
some
love a
people
lot
I'm
of different
actually.
music, but I
Me
am not a
too.
fan of anybody. Like I just like what I like to hear. So
Yeah, yeah.
like for example, I'm driving home when my sister's driving home and there was some Jada and Fab playing, and then all of a sudden Billie Holiday comes on. And
Mhm.
then I got some because I there's this game I play called Fallout 4, and they have all this old music from like the
Okay.
50s and shit. So, I've been listening to a lot of that.
You get familiarized with that.
Yeah, man. So
Okay,
I've
that's
just been in
today. Yeah.
I fell down a whole Demi Lovato hole recently. Like I love her music.
Really?
I love her music. I think she is
I I can't
fantastic.
say the same. I think she's pretty cool, but again, I'm very selective, but I do know, I think, that my range for music kind of goes everywhere,
Mhm.
except like heavy metal, and I don't mean to exclude them.
Well, like,
I'm just not interested.
all right. So, like,
And not just that, but I was just giving you that
no, I
example.
get you. Like, the only type of music I genuinely don't listen to is like, honestly, is gospel. It's the only thing I don't listen to. Yeah,
Damn.
you know me. I'm a fucking pagan.
I know, I know,
I'm a pagan.
I know. You
Celebrate
might
Saturnalia.
actually find some things that you might actually
No,
enjoy. Nothing
no.
that's too
You
crazy,
know what's
but
funny? I know Yolanda Adams is a wonderful singer.
yeah.
I know she is fantastic. I love
Yeah, she is.
Nina Simone and all that. You know what I mean? But it's not
Yeah.
something I'm going to put on and just bump. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I do love classic rock. Like I have the
I no, I do too.
love
I
classic
do too,
rock.
actually.
My
Yeah.
my favorite, like honestly, my favorite. There's two songs right now that I can't get enough of. It's Bob Seger, "Night Moves," and Kansas, "Carry On Wayward Son."
Oh, I don't know. You see? But I want you to keep in mind that I don't really know names
Mm-hmm.
of
Yeah,
songs
no, I
or
get you.
who sings it.
I
Not
get you.
always who sings it, but if it comes up, I'ma sing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a weird talent.
Yo, you know what's funny? When I hear those Ricky songs now, I be like, yo, that's Ricky's music.
For real. For
I
real.
can't
They
lie, I
had
do
this
miss that.
whole
I miss that place
I do
sometimes.
too. I do too.
Sometimes.
I do too. They definitely had. I think you were already gone by this time, but they had a moment where they were just playing mad oldies, like
Mm-hmm.
in every store,
Oh yeah, no, I miss
and
that.
it was like real feel good music though. Like people were actually enjoying it and shopping more.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just so dope. But excuse me, all music. I just want you to know I've been up since forever.
Oh no, I woke up at 3:30
And
this morning. I understand.
ugh, and work was just difficult today.
What do you do now?
But anyway, I work in HR now.
For
HR. So I work for a school bus company right now,
sweet.
and yeah, it's the biggest school bus company in New York. Um, I just wish it was really good. I
Mm-hmm.
fucking hate it,
Why?
but it's just I just feel like I come from a place, even though Ricky's wasn't great. Even my past experience, it's been really people focused. Like
Mm-hmm.
I love dealing with people, and I mean
Right.
like the employees,
Right. Right.
and building relationships and developing. And I just noticed that obviously it's not retail, but it's just different. And the focus is not, at least in this company, the focus is not the people.
Right.
It's about how they're saving money or
Mm-hmm.
where it's being spent. And
Right.
um, it's just weird. It's weird to me that, you're transporting actual kids,
Yeah.
right? Um,
Well, not much right now.
no, not much right now, but we're still active, like we're still open.
Okay.
But I also do insurance with the company.
Okay.
So while just to give you a little detail. So while I do work for HR, I do work for insurance as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if any time our buses get into accidents, like I handle that type of shit. And then of course, when people get hired, doing all the paperwork, sending out notices, doing all that extra
Piss
shit.
test.
So it's crazy.
Do they drug test
And
for that now?
me?
Yeah.
No,
Do you don't drug test
hell
people?
no.
Oh.
Oh no, the company does,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
I thought you meant if I was getting drug tested. I'm like, hell no. Um,
I'm
but
HR,
yeah,
bitch.
yeah, right? That's the biggest flex there.
Word up.
But it's weird. Like I think that how people are like, let me speak to the manager. But the minute they find out you're HR, they're like, oh, like it's just weird, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, there's a stigma
Um,
with HR because HR is usually second most, even honestly, usually HR is kind of the most powerful person in the company
yeah,
because HR can
yeah.
fire the boss. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
not really. Not real. Well, not if you own it,
No,
you
I mean,
know?
well, if you own it, that's something else. But if
Yeah.
you're just a manager and HR is observed, or
Yeah.
as HR you observe them doing some bullshit, you have the authority to fire them.
Yeah. But this one is in this place it's a little different because it's a family-owned company, you
Oh,
know? They
you have no
just
power.
need an HR now.
You have no power.
Yeah, so it's just funny. My new HR manager, we're very much alike. It's very crazy. But I can tell she's having a difficult time acclimating.
Why?
Because even me, I've been there for almost 2 years. I want you to consider the fact that I was furloughed for like 6 months.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But I've been employed with them for almost 2 years, and I still feel like I haven't acclimated. Like I don't want to, because I just don't want to be part of that culture.
What do you want
So
to
I'm
do,
just trying
Mel?
to take my talents elsewhere.
Did you ever finish
I
school?
enjoy, yeah,
Okay. Congratulations.
yeah.
Proud of
Thank
you.
you.
Proud of
Thank
you.
you.
Knew you could do
Thank
it.
you. I'm considering
Going back.
going back. I'm considering.
What do you want to do?
Um, I want to do what I want to do.
I like that
Like
answer.
I don't.
It's a good answer.
I know it's so big, right? I just,
No, not at
honest to
all.
God, my struggle has always been like doing what I have to do in these
Mhm.
places, you know, and even to a fault, to do things that I don't really want to be doing, you
Right.
know. So I think that one of the reasons I appreciated Ricky's was because, while, especially as a store manager, while I have a manager that I have to like kind of keep up with and
Mhm.
put him on, uh, it was how there was just so much freedom, you
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I knew when things needed to get escalated, but I knew how to put out fires, you know. Um, so it's just different now, like having to directly like really take orders from people, and I'm just like, you're not the smartest person in the room, but I guess because I'm employed here, I have to do what you're asking me to do, you know.
Yeah, it sucks to have
And
to eat
most times
shit.
I just ignore them.
Yeah, it sucks to have to
I'm just
eat
like,
shit. Believe me, I know.
yeah,
Because
yeah, it's
while I
just
do
different.
own Frank Starfire Productions and host the Just to Be Frank podcast, I still got to work for a fucking living.
Yeah. Well, until you don't, right?
Until I don't, you know
Until
what
you
I mean?
don't.
I'm trying to set myself up to do this and
Yeah.
keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? So, and I
Yeah, I
enjoy
think it's a
this.
great idea. I love podcasts, by the way.
Now,
Like,
listen, why
absolutely.
don't you host a podcast?
I don't know. I don't know.
You know what I'm
Because I'm
saying?
a little ruthless, you know? I feel like I'm cool. I like to say cool without the L.
Yeah, I get
So
you.
I like to think I'm cool, but I just don't know, you know?
What, you think
At
you're
least not
secretly a
yet.
geek? What are you?
What?
You think you're secretly a geek and it's gonna show on camera? Hey, not a secret.
No. No, no, no.
I'm about to
Maybe
say.
secretly an idiot and don't want to show on
No,
camera.
no. Just find something you enjoy talking about or doing, and do
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no, I get it. I get it. I mean,
I like
I do enjoy it, but I
I
like to
like doing
be
this. I like
correct.
talking to people. So
I know. So I think it's a good idea. I think it's really great that you're doing this. You know, you learn a lot just from having conversations,
very true.
and having conversations is important, you
Yeah,
know?
because that's how you build. You know what I'm saying? That's literally how you
Yeah.
have to build with other people, even people you don't necessarily agree with. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
because that allows you to, and that's why I say objectivity is a superpower because it allows you to see both sides of an argument or issue and
Yeah.
make an informed decision that'll benefit either just you or everybody involved if you're good at it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
I
what I mean?
agree. I
So
agree. You don't meet a lot of people like that
no, and
at all, actually.
no, and I can't lie. I haven't always been this way. You know that. This took
We
3 years.
but we've always had really good
Oh
conversations,
yeah,
you know, and arguments. That's
oh,
so funny,
oh
right?
yeah, like I miss that.
I I know, it used to be so fun. I'm like, I used to just be like, doesn't make sense,
Yeah,
right? I don't
no,
know why we used to be like that.
I don't
Why we used
because
No,
that's
like us. So
because
why were we doing that shit
because that's how
together?
siblings are. That's
So funny.
you know what I mean?
There's so many people I like. There's not a lot of people I still talk to from there.
You still speak to
Um,
Alana?
to who?
Alana.
I don't speak to her like that. Like I follow her on Instagram. She follows me. I
Right.
love Alana. And did you know she actually right before I left Ricky's, because I left right before they were closing my store, like a couple months, Alana was working for me.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Like
Oh,
it was just the weird, it was not weird, but um it was cool. Like we worked together at 83rd and then she came over. It was just so dope. And
listen.
I love her. She has such a good like
Yeah, man, her vibe has always been
presence.
awesome. I miss her to death.
Yeah.
I miss Kiara too, man. Like I miss y'all. I miss
I,
Elaine.
yeah,
Fucking,
everybody was just dope.
you know what I mean? I worked with a lot of girls. Hey,
Yeah.
but you know what? I do still speak to Jason every now and again.
I comment here and there. He does too. I love Jason though.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I absolutely love him.
I love that
And
cat.
he
He's a
was
good
just
dude.
so chill. I think it was more about like he like you can tell if he liked you,
Oh yeah, no, he
but
was
then it was
always
also like
cool.
he didn't really give a fuck.
Yeah,
Like I think, I think
yeah.
that's what I love about him. Like,
And
oh
that
my
was
God,
refreshing. It
yeah.
was refreshing.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
loved him.
he's one of those people like, yo, he was just a cool dude from the day I met him. Like, oh, all right, cool. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We
And
smooth.
I think we met a lot of, I think there was a lot of people, at least I think there were tons of people that I met there that I actually did vibe with. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, they're actually really dope.
Yeah.
We were just a weird bunch. Like we were
Oh
just
yeah.
hella weird all together, but mad cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
listen, you know what? Yeah, we were definitely weird. And we definitely
Yeah.
we had some very strange folk working with us too. You know what I'm saying?
Hell
But
yeah.
everybody was cool, man. I don't think there was one person I didn't like.
I could
Think about
disagree.
that for a second. Hold on, let me refresh my memory banks here. I don't think
Yeah, I
so.
can disagree. No, generally in the company,
Yeah.
but
Oh, in
not
company, that was
directly.
something else. I didn't like Gino. I wanted to punch him in his fucking head. But
He was okay. He
I
was
mean, I didn't like
cool.
Gino too much. And then there was I still speak to Zach every now and again too. That's my guy.
Who's that?
Zach with the big hair. With the dude that looked like John Ritter.
I have no idea.
Damn. He always had the very spiky hair, you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
wait, but you talking about he was there forever ago.
Yeah, yeah. He was there like
I
forever. He was
I think I know. I think I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
his name is Zach. Good. He was a good dude. He was a little weird, but nice guy, man. He's one of the coolest cats I ever met, man.
Yeah, I do think that some people don't necessarily know how to navigate with position.
Mm.
So if you knew them outside, not necessarily outside of work, but if you had like real one-on-ones with people, you'd be like, okay, you're not so bad after
Yeah,
all. You
exactly.
know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But you know, some people you just don't want to because they suck.
I
You
agree.
know, they suck.
Yo,
Um,
I hate you. That's
you know
so
what I'm saying?
funny.
Like when I moved to 57th, I liked it over there. They had a cool. There was my little homie Shandy. Was my little homie right there. She was mad cool.
I don't even know who that
Yeah, she was just a little pixie girl, man. You probably wouldn't have known her, but she was one of the coolest little people I ever met in my life.
is. That whole store was weird. I was
Oh,
happy when you got there because I knew you were,
yeah.
like doing different shit. But
Oh, 57th.
that store was just weird, right?
57th was 57. You know what it was? They had good people working there, but nobody that knew how to. They didn't have a really great manager. You know what I'm saying? The lady that was the manager, I forget her name, but she wasn't very good at it. You know what I'm saying? She was a nice
Yeah,
person. She was a sweetheart, no question. But she
yeah.
was not a manager. You know what I'm
I know.
saying? So,
I know.
you
I
know.
think that, sometimes,
But I think that happened
pe-
a lot at Ricky's. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Are they even open anymore? They're all closed, right?
No, I think they're all
I
closed.
thought there was
They're all
one left.
closed.
I thought there was one left, like Soho or something was still open.
Uh, to be honest, I can't really tell you. Like, after I left, I kind of just never looked back,
I feel
you
you.
know,
I feel
except the
you.
people, like, my staff,
Mm-hmm.
the last store that I had, I still talk to, a lot of them. you would have liked them.
Good.
You would have been getting on their nerve, but the
I
girls
got
are
on
just so
everybody's
dope.
nerve.
They're the only people that I speak to, like now,
Okay.
Um, but it was like my best experience. Like I felt like, okay, I kind of really owned my title and my position and my store. And it was a nice store
You
too.
want to open a store, don't you? You want to open some boutique or something.
I do not. I
No?
do not. It's so funny because people are always like, Mel, you need to have a store.
Yeah,
I
I
was at
don't.
the hair salon the other day and they're like, so I started lashing though.
Okay. I don't
So
know what
it's really,
that is.
really, it's
Yeah.
literally doing like individual lashes on
Oh,
people
okay. Okay.
or on women, well, women, men, whoever.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, look, we don't judge. It's 2021.
yeah, I just haven't had a male client yet.
Give it
But I
time.
mean, I learned that I'm doing that. Um, but I definitely don't want to own a boutique. Like I just kind of want to have, that type of
You know what?
side thing with stability,
You know what? If you opened any store, and I think for you to be successful at it, because it'd have to be something you thoroughly enjoyed, you'd have to open a bookstore.
Yo, I love
You'd
books.
have to open a bookstore.
I know.
You know what I
But
mean? And
like,
how many brick
and
and mortar bookstores are left in New York?
like honest to God, like if you see independent ones, a lot of them, they're cute.
Right.
Like
Strand is
I
still
do
there, I
see it.
know.
Strand is still there. There's one here in Brooklyn I've been dying to go to. I haven't been to yet. I think it's called Magic Bookstore BK, something like that, because it's here in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Um, but I love independent places. There's a place in Chelsea, Chelsea,
Nah, you
Greenwich.
miss Chelsea.
I do. My family still lives there,
Oh, okay.
so I still go. But my store, I'm missing.
Hmm.
Anyway, I think this place is in Greenwich, but it's called Bar and Books, something like that.
Okay. Okay.
And I've been dying to check it out because I'm like, are there books in there? Like, are people drinking and reading?
That
Because
would be
that's
dope.
wavy.
Well, I know
Exactly.
there was a comic book themed whiskey bar in Brooklyn, if I'm not mistaken. And I always wanted to go to that. I don't know if it's still open or not. This was a while ago, but you know what? But you could sit down, read comics, sip whiskey, and just chill. That's
That's cool.
that's
What's
my
the
type
name
of
of this
vibe.
place?
I could not tell you for the life of me
It's
right
cool.
now. Yeah,
I
I just
can
read it.
Google
I
it.
read it in the paper. I still read my daily news. I still get I get the daily news up here. It's a dollar fucking 50 up here. Bastard.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Well, you get the actual paper?
Yeah.
Oh, because you could just take off the front page and take the rest,
Yeah, I
and you
could
won't
do
have to
that,
pay
but
for it.
yeah, see, no, that works in New York. Up here, they're not that smart.
Oh,
They
well,
don't
that
know that
sucks.
damn. No, no, I'm being
That
facetious.
sucks.
Some of them do. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
No, I know,
Pennsylvanians.
I
I'm
know.
just making fun of y'all a little bit because New York.
I have a coworker that lives out there and she drives to work.
Stroudsburg.
I don't know where she lives at.
Well, because that seems to be the little New York of this place, East Stroudsburg, and then there's
No, I don't think so because I should have been more clear. She like leaves early Fridays so she
Mhm,
can drive all the way back home.
right.
But I think Monday night through Thursday she has a place in Staten Island, like
Oh,
an
okay.
apartment.
Well, either way,
But she loves it. Like she's like it's quiet.
yep,
I chop my wood
yep.
from my fireplace. I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, you
Yeah,
you really live out there.
yeah. Oh yeah, I'm about to start a garden. Come springtime, my garden about to get up. I got a greenhouse.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
I'm trying to become self sufficient. I'm about to learn how to hunt
What you gonna be hunting?
deer and elk.
I don't know if I'm gonna eat elk, but I'll eat some deer.
An elk is basically just a bigger deer, but one
Hmm.
elk would feed your entire family for a year.
Shut up.
Yeah, man. And if you're a hunter, like what I'm learning about hunting is like when you're a hunter, like there's a deep spiritual connection to killing an animal. You know what I'm saying? And then, but you also have to realize like the difference between that and factory farming. Like in factory farming, these are still mammals. They still have feelings, and they can
Hmm.
see their friends going getting cattle prodded into shit, and so they're like, "Yo, what the fuck? Are y'all gonna do that to me too?" And they
Yeah.
pump this toxin from their thing, you know what I mean, through out their body that spoils the meat,
Yeah, I
right?
know.
Now,
I
if
know.
now when the hunt now when you're hunting, especially when you if you want to do it the way I want to learn how to bow hunt. So I'm doing it with a bow and arrow. So if you get
What the hell?
one shot, and if
Hmm.
you know what I mean, if you do it, it doesn't have a chance to do that. And then,
Okay.
the animal just
Yeah,
dies.
like it's quick.
Right. It's quick. It's painless. Not painless, obviously, but it's definitely quick.
Yeah.
But then
It's supposed to be really quick
yeah,
and
but
like
then you,
without suffering.
right. Then you take it to a butcher or you do it yourself, right? You know what I'm saying? And you just cut it up and you've got steaks and chops and liver and all sorts of brains. I like people eat all of that. Now, personally for me, I
I
may
know, I
not eat
know.
the liver or brain for that matter, but I do have a cat, so
What
he
about
can
the
get it.
tongue?
I'd probably eat
You
the
gonna eat the
tongue. I'd
tongue?
probably put the tongue in some soup. I probably wouldn't eat the tongue, but I'll put the
Maybe in
tongue.
a taco. Put it in a taco.
That's weird.
They make
Tongue
tongue.
taco.
They have tongue tacos.
I
You've never
believe
had
it.
like the Mexican food trucks in New
Yeah,
York?
yeah. But I
It's
didn't.
called lengua.
Oh, is that what that
And you
is?
mhm.
Oh, okay. Then maybe I have had
Lengua
some
is
tongue.
tongue.
I guess I have had that. I guess I have.
I don't eat that. I don't eat that shit.
I mean,
I,
listen. My
I'm
thing.
not that type. It's I think it's cool to do that. I don't want to do
I
that.
mean,
I'm a
again,
sick
it's just
girl.
about self sufficiency, so that I don't have to go to Walmart or the supermarket and buy meat. I don't have to. I want to grow my own fruits and vegetables and weed, so I don't have to go to the store and buy these
That sounds
things.
no, that actually sounds really fun. Like
Yeah,
I would love to have a farm just to grow. Like I want to grow cilantro. I love cilantro.
you can grow that on your windowsill.
Yeah, I've had a plant, but it wasn't really a good. It didn't really last. So
Yeah. Well, I actually have cilantro seeds.
you
That's
do.
that's one of my crops. I'll have that. I'll have beans, different legumes, peppers, cabbage, fucking kale. Uh,
Mm,
yeah,
yeah,
man.
that
Like I'm
sounds like a good idea.
yeah, I'm trying to grow everything, and that's why I got the greenhouse, so I can just
Yeah.
put it all in there and set up the sprinkler system and boom, boom, boom. And then I want to get a catfish barrel, which is basically
What? You
it's
like
basically,
catfish?
yeah, I love catfish, but it's basically a
I've never had
barrel.
it.
No, oh my god, it's basically just a barrel. Literally, it's just a barrel you put in your backyard or wherever, and it has catfish in it, and they just keep spawning and spawning, and you constantly have a steady supply of food.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
You know,
sounds cool.
you know what I mean? And they survive because they're bottom dwellers. You
Shut up.
know what
You're
I
so
mean?
dumb. Why are you laughing?
I mean, listen,
You,
science is a good friend of mine, man, and it's
I know.
I love it.
I know.
And,
I mean, I like it. I'm not, I just feel like I believe in science.
mhm.
Um, but I'm not a scientist. Like I
Oh,
trust when they say shit, I
yeah,
believe it. I'm just like, oh, nah, you a scientist. If I need to listen to anybody, is you.
yeah,
So I'm with it.
yeah,
Well,
man.
I do want to tell you one time I went to Puerto Rico. I was 16 years old, and my uncle wanted to have a party. I went with my uncle and his family, like his daughters, his wife, and we went to go stay with my other uncle that lives there. So he wanted to have a party. He was excited. He had a lot of family at once. And so we just take a ride and we go to this freaking farm. Somebody's house has acres of farm. And I was just like, what what are we doing here? Right? It was a weird, like, little ride. There was a pig tied to a tree, like in the backyard.
Oh,
And
oh,
I didn't get it. Like I didn't get what was happening. until my uncle, who I adore, he just kind of like grabbed that pig and just
Slit its throat.
he just stabbed it in the neck, like because it's supposed to be fast and
Yep.
painless.
Poke, poke.
Yo, I was like, what? I was crying.
You didn't
I
name the
was
pig, did you?
crying.
You didn't
I
name the
didn't. I
pig.
didn't.
Okay, no,
I didn't name it, but I didn't eat it either. And
oh,
I
have
am a,
you?
I love pork,
I was gonna say, have
but
you had
that
pork
day,
since?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but that day I was just like, oh no, I can't. And I literally rode back to the house with the pig literally sitting next to me. I was just like mortified that I witnessed something like that happening. Like it's just not the same as seeing a chicken be killed. I was like, this pig is fucking big. Like it's just not an experience that
It's a mammal,
city
so
people
it's
would
like,
have.
yeah, it's a mammal, so in your mind, it's like you shouldn't be doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially as a
It
kid.
was yes.
Especially
Well,
when you're reading books with pigs and they got faces and talk and shit. You know what I
right?
mean?
They have
Poor
a whole
pig.
voice.
You got a whole face. Oh my God. You know what I mean? But yeah, I get that.
I
And
would never forget that shit.
no, I believe you, man. And
That's just scary.
but I think hunting, fishing, those types of things, those are good things to know. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no, I agree with you.
Good
I
things to know.
totally agree with you.
Like
I
how to,
just don't.
well, because you're a girl. No, I'm just you're a New, no, let me rephrase. You're a New York girl.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a better thing. I
Yeah,
definitely be like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
yeah.
I'm not doing that.
At least you won't get a driver's
But
license.
that what?
I said you won't get a driver's license. You remind me of my
I
mama.
know.
You remind me of
I
my mom.
know, right? Listen, I'm gonna surprise you one of these days.
I believe you.
Because I'm just, I know I need to.
I mean,
Because I think what holds me back from even considering, I've just been having like really, I just want to be on a different track,
mhm,
And it's not a whole new year, new me thing. It's not that. It's more about like, maybe I just want something different.
right.
So I was telling my man yesterday, I said, hey, I think, I don't really want to move out of New York City. I don't. Like, I want to have my kids here if that happens ever.
What you mean?
But
It'll
no,
happen.
I'm just saying, like, if it ever happens, but I don't envision myself living anywhere else. I don't want to.
I, I'm gonna be
The
honest.
only place that I'll really think about is obviously Cali, but definitely DC. Like
Okay,
I love DC.
I do too.
And there's just a different feel about over there,
Yeah, I,
It's weird. Obviously, it feels like a cleaner New York. That's it.
it's a chocolate city. You know what I'm saying? But
And
my aunt used to
yeah,
live there. You know what I mean? I've been there a lot. I spent a lot of time there as a kid, and
yeah,
I love DC. The
yeah, I
museum,
love it.
the Air and Space Museum, and the Smithsonian alone I can sit in there for hours and just walk.
I didn't go there. I didn't go to the museums, but I think just the area, I was just like, oh, I'm really feeling this.
And
Like
my
if I had to really be anywhere, it'd be
yeah,
there. So I need to drive.
I think my next place after here is either going to be
Don't say
Colorado.
Florida.
No, hell no. I am not
No.
going to the fucking nutsack of America. Fuck that shit. That place has dinosaurs. Like, I'm not going there. They have dinosaurs.
Oh God, that's funny.
No, but
Yeah,
no, I
definitely
got
not Florida.
I do have family in Florida, so but
Me
Florida's
too.
but luckily they're not from Florida. They moved there, so they're not like Floridian. But no,
Um, how
Colorado,
long they been there?
not long enough.
Okay,
They're still New
okay,
Yorkers. Um,
okay.
I maybe like
Colorado sounds dope.
Colorado, Alaska. I was thinking I might want to spend some time in England. Thought about London.
That sounds very cool.
Because I've been on this weird app. Not Plenty of Fish, but it's associated with it. It's called Meet Me, and
Okay.
I've been talking to a lot of different people from all over the world and different shit. And the one thing I've discovered is, if you're got manners and you're a pretty respectful fellow, hey Frank, you come out to Ireland, you make sure you hit me up so you got a place to stay. Like, all right.
Wait, so Meet Me, it's just like a regular, it's not a dating app. It's
it,
just an
it
app where you meet
it's
different people.
it to me, I'll tell you what it is. If there's a I just put up like there's 2 episodes. I just filmed one with my friend Safi from there, and I filmed another one with another young lady I met on there. That episode is actually already up on YouTube.
Okay.
Is the one with It's Jilly Baby. But it's it's the next wave of social media. And the reason I say that is because, and you can kind of see it with Snapchat and Instagram, how they got the live elements. This is nothing
Yeah.
but live. You know what I'm
Interesting.
saying? So you're
So
basically,
no posts, no
there's no, you
stories.
can post and, put pictures up, but for the most part, if you click on somebody's face, you're going to be in a live stream with them. And you can
Interesting.
chat with them in their live stream, and a lot of them have themes and do different things. They do games and different type of shit. And
Hmm.
I'm the young lady Safi. She's about to be my UK correspondent for the Just to Be Frank podcast because uh she's very personal, she's mad funny, she's cool, she games, she's into all sorts of different things, but she's 27, she's got 10, she's a
Yeah.
really really pleasant young lady, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I met her through here. You know what I'm saying? And it's not
That's
even like,
dope.
yeah, and it's not even like, oh, like I'm interested in her and anything. Like, no, it's like genuinely like, oh, she's mad cool. Like we've become
Yeah.
friends through a damn, they're locked down completely over in London, in England
Yeah,
and
I
shit.
know. I know.
How
I
have you
know.
been?
It's scary.
How have you been coping with this fucking pandemic, man? How have y'all been?
Uh, well, in the beginning, all right, I'm never gonna lie to you. In the beginning, I was hyped that I could just be home. Obviously, because I wasn't gonna be working, and after a little while, I was like having cabin fever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like I'm a social being,
Mm-hmm.
and just not being able to be around other people. And then there was the element of not wanting to, but wanting to, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I get you.
like I didn't see my family for months, and
Oh,
that was what was
I
really
know that was
difficult. 'Cause,
difficult.
yeah, I love my
For
family.
you, that was probably very difficult.
Yeah. And it was just really, really hard.
Yeah,
So obviously, we could FaceTime and shit, but it wasn't the
it's not
same.
the same. You
And
want to
then
hug
my
your mom.
stepdad, yeah, I'm a mama's girl.
Yeah.
My stepdad had COVID. He had it really badly.
Oh man.
So at that time, I think we were all kind of afraid. Um, but I was in the car with him, right? I think I was laid off. I had already been laid off for a week, and
Okay.
I went to go do my nails. I'm not sure why I felt like I needed to have my nails done before quarantine, but I went to get my nails done. My stepdad went to pick me up.
Priorities,
And
girl.
it's funny you say that because he's a mailman. So he goes to pick me up, and then he's coughing in the car, Frank. And I'm just like, ew, open the window.
Right.
Like, you're coughing a lot. And it was so cold this day. He was like, yeah, I don't know. I just have this really bad cough. I'm like, oh my God, do you think you have COVID? And, in the car, we're kind of just talking, and he's just
Right.
hella sick. And this dude ended up like getting admitted into the hospital. Like, it was serious.
Yikes.
And during this time, I had I lost my sense of taste and smell, but I didn't know, like, those weren't COVID symptoms
At
yet. It
the
wasn't
time,
listed by the
right.
CDC yet. So I
Oh.
was just like, whoa, this is weird.
So you
And
had
I was like,
COVID.
so I had COVID, but I didn't
You didn't
know, you know?
associate it. Yeah.
No, not until later when like all these symptoms were being listed. I was like, oh shit, I had COVID.
How
So
did
I think
you
most of us had it though.
did you
Hmm.
go to the hospital or did you just fight it off?
No, I just fought it off. I was home, I was quarantined. My man was still working. And what's weird is I was just like, damn, it was only for like 4 days.
Okay.
I couldn't taste, I couldn't smell. I had a little difficulty breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was just able to recognize these things.
Yeah.
And I was, of course, completely tired. So I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I'm not doing nothing. But
But
I just fought it off. It wasn't, thankfully, it wasn't as bad as most people had it.
Right.
But tons of coworkers of mine passed away. It's just weird that people die anyway, but this whole pandemic was just really crazy.
And it was, you know, up here, I got laid off. I was working at the casino at the time. I was working at Mount Airy Casino.
Okay.
And so they furloughed us from March to July, I want to say.
Okay.
But they paid us unemployment for, they gave us the unemployment. So that
Yeah.
helped. And then we got the extra unemployment. So that helped. And then,
Yeah.
um, and, but for the most part, for the first 2-3 weeks, I was fine. I mean, before they shut everything down, because up here the liquor store is state run. So
What
yeah,
does that
so
mean?
the state owns and operates all the liquor stores.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a
That
commonwealth.
sucks.
Yeah, it's a commonwealth. So
Okay.
it's kind of weird, but it's located right there, like by the supermarket, like literally right next to the supermarket. So it's not
Okay.
far. But I went and got me a nice couple big bottles, and then my my bud guy was still delivering, so I had everything I needed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Walmart was still open, which I thought was fucked up. That Walmart could still be open, but these little mom and pop shops could not.
Yeah.
I felt like
Yeah.
that was wrong. Um, so I felt like when they shut down restaurants, that was wrong. Because a lot of these people, most restaurant workers live on tips.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I just don't know if I think they were doing what they thought was right. And I kind of it's
Well,
yes, we need food. So
yeah,
maybe some restaurants needed to be open.
right. Because
But
why can
like
McDonald's stay
dining
open?
in,
Why can McDonald's stay open, but not, what I'm saying, Joe Schmo's restaurant? You understand what I
I
mean?
get
Like
it.
that's
I
kind of
get it.
that's kind of fucked
But
up.
was delivery I,
We
I
have
get it.
Uber Eats and we
The,
have Grubhub and all that. They definitely had an uptick.
yeah.
But Uber itself and Lyft, they stopped really operating a lot during that time.
Yeah.
And at the time I was not driving, so I literally just got my license like last summer. So I
Yeah.
ain't know what to talk.
It
But
don't matter. You got it.
you know what I'm
So that's all
saying?
that matters.
But before that I was using Uber and shit to get around.
Yeah.
And they had slowed down their shit a lot.
Definitely.
Luckily I
Yeah.
know a lot of the Uber drivers, so if one of them seen it was me, they would come. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, um but it was definitely a very weird time. But for me, it wasn't so bad because I sat there for the first few weeks, and this is literally how I discovered the Joe Rogan podcast.
Okay.
And then I discovered,
Damn.
and then through
That's
that,
good.
yeah, and then through that, I discovered Whitney Cummings and Nikki
I
Glazer
like
and
Whitney
all
Cummings.
these. I love Whitney Cummings too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of Joe Rogan's friends. You know what I'm
So
saying? Like,
maybe, yeah. I wonder if I've heard anything from him. I want to say I haven't because I feel like his name would have rung a bell.
he
But a
also
lot
does.
of what I listen to is not just about. I like to, honest to God, and I know it sounds boring, but I'm always looking for some enlightening shit, some shit that's gonna make me feel good.
Okay.
That I'm actually that I just want to learn more about the things that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Not to say I'm not interested in him. I'm
No, no,
just
I
saying
get
like
you.
I listen to shit about mental health,
Hmm.
about relationships.
then you would love his podcast, and I promise you that, because
I'm
he
gonna check
has
it out.
such a eclectic mix of people he talks
Like
to.
and topics. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and honestly, they'll sit there and talk about, like a lot of the people he's spoken with about COVID, and he's talked to Brett Weinstein and fucking different neurobiologists and disease experts and all that. So he's had them
Yeah.
on. He's had different politicians on. He's had different, what I'm saying. He has enough of a variety of people that he likes to talk to, that
Yeah.
when he calls himself a
It's gonna get somebody's
yeah, so
attention
like you'll
who likes
find
who
yeah,
whatever.
you'll find
Yeah.
something that you'll enjoy out of it.
Yeah. That, I'll
And,
see.
yeah,
I'll check it out. I'm sure
and
I'll like it though.
yeah, I mean, and the reason and he's funny too, and I know
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle is going to be on within the next few weeks, I imagine, because he's when he was on with Donnell Rollins, he came in with
You should
Donnell
have just
Rollins.
started with that.
Well,
I'd have been like, oh, Dave Chappelle's gonna be on there?
no,
Okay,
yeah,
I would
yeah, yeah,
listen
yeah.
to
He's going to be on,
it.
but for a full episode, like he was only in there for like a good hour when Donnell Rollins, Ashley Lowry, he was a guest on there, and
Okay.
and then Dave Chappelle happened to show up because he's in Texas doing a residency at like they're doing him and Joe Rogan are doing a slate of shows at Stubbs Barbecue Grill. I want to fucking check for all this love I'm showing you, Joe.
For real, right? Right? He
No,
bringing you more
the
viewers
truth
and
is,
shit.
no, the truth is, in all honesty and fairness, like I said, without Joe Rogan's podcast, the Just to Be Frank podcast wouldn't exist because I kind of always like I was doing a different one when I first got up here. The first year I was here, I was doing one with some friends of mine up in Scranton.
Okay.
And
It's great.
there really is a Dunder and Mifflin Road, I swear to God.
Shut
Swear
up.
to God, it is Dunder Road and Mifflin Avenue or some crazy shit like that. Like that's a real thing.
That is so funny. Maybe
Um,
I wonder. I need to know how they freaking came up with that show.
well,
Like I love that show.
it's an offshoot of a British. It's a
I
reboot of a British
know,
show.
I
Yeah.
know, but Dunder Mifflin.
Yeah, they just took two names from the town of Scranton and made a paper company.
Yeah,
But
that's kind of dope. But go ahead.
I was doing something called Foundation 101 presents the Black Code. Shout out to my homies. Um, and it was like a panel discussion show. We had different topics and everything, and we
Mhm.
covered a lot of different shit. That was like around when Dick Gregory died and things like that. So we was talking about that, and
Yeah.
it was a great show. Um, but it was an ensemble cast. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And for me, that to me, when if we had somebody in, I felt like that didn't give us enough time to really engage with the guests themselves and really get
Yeah.
to the meat and potatoes of what they're talking about. Like this here, like we started talking about politics, and where are we right now?
I know. I know. I
but
know.
but that's fine. That's what this is all about. And like I said, I
Yeah.
ain't seen you in 4 years. I missed you, so this works for me,
I
man.
know. I missed you too. It's been
You know
crazy.
what I
It's
mean?
crazy. I swear. Like I didn't even think that it was 4 years ago.
I know time
You
flies.
know?
We getting old. We're like, God
Yeah.
damn it, we circled back to what we said in the beginning. Time flies as you get older.
I'm telling you. I've never been one to be like, I can't wait. I've never said that. Like, I
Yeah.
can't wait to be older. I never said that.
Oh,
And now, like, I feel like as soon as I hit 20,
I wish
when I
somebody.
when I hit 20, I was crying because I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, in 10 years I'm gonna be 30. Like, I don't know, I don't even know why I was freaking out. But
I
time
wish.
really does fly.
I wish somebody would have explained to me the aspect of bills and shit when I was a kid, so I wouldn't have been in such a fucking rush. But
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing, right? I think that they can do so much more with just teaching people.
yes,
Like you can I don't expect my parents to teach me something they don't know.
hmm
But there's also that element, like, okay, if you don't like if something has to pique your interest, like you have to want to know about something in order to learn about it. It's
right,
just so fucking weird. Like
right,
I don't want to pay bills. I don't.
but I mean, there should be life classes and shit, but there needs to be an entire restructuring of the curriculum. It has to be decolonized, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
No,
Um,
that does make
yeah,
sense.
like it has to be decolonized because there's and honestly, it's going to be controversial, but I think Black History Month needs to get the fuck out of here too. You know what I'm saying?
Why?
Because all history is Black history too.
It can't
And why do we just get one fucking where we
that's
learn about the
true.
same five people over and over again? I learned about
That's
Malcolm
true.
Martin, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, and we can throw one other Sojourner Truth. Those are the
And
five people I always learned
and
about
that's the issue though.
every year.
That you only learn about them in
Right.
grade school.
Right.
and the
In
grade
high
school
school,
books are not, yeah,
you know
but
what I
the
mean?
books are. I remember doing a play for Black History Month, and I would never forget. I thought I had it, and as soon as I get on stage, I was like, there was like a little there was like a little delay from when I was supposed to say my line. They're like, I was like, oh yeah, this and this and that, blah blah blah. But anyway, it was definitely for Black History Month. I think that you can't eliminate it until everything is just revamped.
Well,
You
that's
know
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying.
saying?
Like, take that and incorporate it all. Like, start and don't just start at slavery. Start history all the way back. Like, let's learn about Mesopotamia. Let's learn
Or
about
why they?
Sumer.
The thing is, they're
Let's
I
learn
don't
about the Moors. You know what I'm saying? Let's
yeah,
learn about Mansa
yeah.
Musa.
And
And
here's the thing,
and just
you
as much
can
as we
learn
learn
that,
about Ivan the Terrible and Alexander the Great.
but you don't learn. Honest to God, Frank, like I feel like there's not much I learned until I got to college, where you, mind you, you have to pay every aspect of your education has to be paid.
Which is
But in
bullshit. Go
college,
ahead.
I agree. I agree. But in college, when you get to choose whatever you want to do,
Hmm.
and all these classes have to be paid for, I was like, fuck it. I might as well make the most of it since I have
Right.
to pay for it.
Right.
And even a lot of not my personal history, but like my culture, where my people come from,
Hmm.
there was so much I didn't know until I was like presented with this information. And after that, after I had that introduction, I just kept going. I was just hungry for more.
Right.
And I'm a reader though. I come from a family of readers, and I just feel like I've just been lucky because I'm always looking for something else to really
Learn.
grasp and, you know, and
Right.
take down. Yeah. Because when I'm excited about something or I learn something new, the first thing I'm doing is talking about it to the next person.
And
Like,
that
and
is
I think I'm
genius.
a pretty good conversationalist. Yeah. So
That's
I would talk to anybody about whatever, you know. Like I want to be. My endeavor is to be that type of person who can kind of talk about everything and anything, you
mhm.
know. But anyway, there was just a lot I learned while in college that I otherwise would have never known, you
Right. But what
know.
about those people who don't go to college? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think college is the only education you
But
get, but I
what I'm
think that
saying, like, there
you
needs
have
to.
to constantly be craving to learn.
Well, not only that, but how much more interested would, especially in our community, how much more interested would you be in the curriculum if you're
Mhm.
learning about all the great things that your people past and present did as well? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
As what
yeah,
they, you know what I'm saying? So
very interested.
like
But
that would bring you more, especially if you start at a young age when you're going through a textbook and you see your face, but it's not just in bondage, or
that's right.
like in some places in the South teach where Africans were came over basically willingly and just to work for us type shit. That's what they write in
No,
Texas.
no,
Yeah, those
and
are
that's absolute
literally
bullshit.
the history textbooks
Yeah,
in other states. So, like in the South, they don't teach about
that's
the
crazy.
Civil War. They teach about the War of Northern Aggression.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
You see how you
this is
teaching
what
me
I'm
something new?
saying. The curriculum has to be revamped across the entirety so that all history is told, not just from one perspective. Because usually the winner writes the perspective.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's true.
saying?
That's
So,
true.
but then the survivors, because there's always survivors, they tell stories too. But those
Yeah,
become legend or mythology, or you understand what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
So why is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and you and
That's
I
kind
have
of
had this
crazy.
discussion many times, and I always ask the same question. You got a book that tells me how an omnipotent being created all the heavens and the earth, but you
Mhm.
can't tell me scientifically how the pyramids were built. That's flawed logic.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I
Like,
agree. I
so,
agree.
like, let's be serious. Like, there were many civilizations and people well before anybody else. So what
Yeah.
were they learning in Mesopotamia? Like I said, those places, the Samaria, Pompeii, and unfortunately we can't know about Pompeii, they're gone. But they got snack bars though, apparently. Like they found a snack bar.
Shut
So
up.
yeah, they recently found a snack bar preserved underneath the rocks from the eruption of Pompeii. Yeah,
Shut
straight
up.
up. Yeah, it was like a little snack stand.
Damn. No
Yeah,
way.
and
Now you're gonna have me like Googling this stuff.
they recently uncovered. This is what they found in Egypt recently, down towards in the Nile Valley. They found more sarcophagus and tombs that they didn't even know were there. They also recently found a void in one of the great pyramids that they cannot explain how it got there. A void in the center of the
Shut
Great
up.
Pyramid. I'm dead serious. You gotta Google this. I'm dead serious.
Where are
So
you reading this at? Because I didn't hear none about this.
all I read is Google News and newspapers. So, but I found
Damn.
this. Yeah, I found this on Google News. I was just scrolling through the science section one day, and there it was. Like, yo, researchers find da 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 da. Like, oh shit, you
You're
found a
gonna have me
board.
talk about this with my father.
Yeah,
You would probably really enjoy talking to my dad.
anybody can
No,
go.
no, no. I'm saying he's hella fucking smart. Like
Anybody can
we
come on
talk
here.
about everything.
Listen, this
It's
is
it's
this is an
incredible.
open invite, and once this pandemic is over, you definitely have to come and sit on the big brown couch, and we got to do this in person. Like, come on,
Yeah,
you have
that'd
to
be
come on
dope.
up, we'll barbecue, all that shit, something, in the summer. Hopefully, it's the summer.
That would be very cool. The last time I was over in Pennsylvania was like probably over a year ago, maybe almost 2 years ago.
Were you by
Crazy.
Kalahari?
No,
Oh,
I don't fucking know.
oh,
I
okay.
wasn't driving.
Oh, fuck.
Uh,
What were you like? I basically asked, did you like go to a resort or something, or
no, 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 no. Sharif and I, we went to a friend's baby shower.
okay,
So we have a mutual friend. Well, not really. We went. It's his friend.
okay.
I just knew him too. Um, They had moved to Pennsylvania,
Hmm.
and they were having a baby. So we went to the baby shower. We were out there for like a couple hours. We stayed at a hotel out there just to
Hmm.
kind of make it a trip or
Yeah,
make a trip out of it.
yeah,
Um, it was cool though.
yeah.
It was all right. I didn't do nothing special.
No,
I don't want to say that. I didn't do
listen,
nothing more than go to that baby shower.
it's Pennsylvania. There is not that much to do. No,
There's
I'm lying.
definitely,
There's actually a lot to do, but you have to
yeah.
go out and actually just do it. Like, one of my favorite things to do is go to the gun range.
You know, I went to the gun range for the first time this year. So during the pandemic, I actually
Mhm.
went to Florida. We drove though.
Okay,
Um, I went to a gun range. That shit
nice.
was interesting.
What
I'm
you
not a
shoot?
gun supporter. I'm not crazy about guns, but I'm a good shot. Like really, really good. Yeah, I know there's some potential.
Well, listen. Well, here's the thing. You know me. I'm not a gun. I've always been very anti-gun because that is an aspect of growing up in New York City, where it's
Yeah,
instilled in us that we can't have them.
that's not why I don't like
Well,
them.
and of
I
course,
think
all
that
the people we've seen or personally know that have been killed by gun violence,
exact
right?
for me, it's
So,
that.
yeah,
It's
that
that. Like
that
I
too.
don't want that to be my first.
But think of
Unless my life is threatened,
right.
I don't think I need to be shooting
But
people. You know
now,
what I'm saying?
right. But now that's the culture in New York City. But now think of this: and if you go right over the border into Nassau County, you can own guns.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
know.
Suffolk County, you can even own even more guns. If you go north, if you go to like not Yonkers, but like anywhere outside of that, you can own guns in New York State.
Yeah.
But only in the
Yeah.
5 boroughs did they take that away from us. Why? Because it's a lot of minorities that live in that enclave. So there's no
That's
we don't
right.
want you niggas with them
And
guns.
this is when I think things would change. When things like that, right? Like just being able to own a gun.
Right.
I just
Now,
don't feel like everyone I don't feel like everyone should, to be honest.
no,
But
not everyone should.
yeah.
And I'll tell you precisely why. And personally, I own a shotgun. Very first gun I bought during the beginning of the pandemic, I bought a 12 gauge Mossberg pump shotgun. So I am a
You
gun
just
owner.
showing off.
No, it's a home. It is literally just
Just
a
kidding.
home protection device, right?
Yeah.
But one day I was at the gun range and not paying attention to what I was doing. I let off of a shot while somebody was down putting their
Shut
thing. Now they
up.
weren't in my anywhere near my lane, but because it is a shotgun, technically
Yeah.
it spreads,
Yeah.
so they could have been injured. Nobody was, but I definitely got yelled at by every one of the people there, and I applaud them for doing it, and because I
Yeah.
deserved it. You know what I'm saying? Because what I had done was completely stupid. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
I have learned from that. You know what I'm saying? You always, and it's one of those things that I'll tell anybody. See, out here, the culture of gun ownership is you basically get your first gun when you're about 3 or 4 or 5 years old. It's going to be an airsoft
Yeah.
rifle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? BB gun. And you'll use that. Your dad or your mom or somebody or your older brother, they're going to teach you how to bing, 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 hit little targets and all that shit. You learn the
Yeah.
basics of gun ownership from that. You learn very early, don't point this at your face. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel good to get hit with a BB. Now imagine a bullet. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you learn you don't shoot somebody accidentally with it because it could hurt them. So you like these are the things that these kids up here are learning from an early age. And
Yeah.
then
Since
they'll
from
get their
young. Yeah.
next gun, as they get older, they'll upgrade to a 22 rifle or something, or they'll and so forth and so on. You know what I'm saying? They get the first day of hunting season off up here, off of school. Like that's a holiday. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Shut up.
yeah. And as long as you are not a felon, you can,
Yeah.
and you have a Pennsylvania driver's license or ID, you could walk into any gun store and purchase a firearm.
Oh, that's pretty. I mean,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
interesting. I just don't. I get it. I feel like I can respect how different it is. You
And
know
there's
what I'm saying?
free gun ranges all over the place. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So basically, what I'm saying is they have access to these things that we in New York City don't necessarily have. Now, I
Yeah.
remember there used to be a gun store and a gun range on Jamaica Ave or Atlantic Ave.
Shut
Like, yeah,
up.
it used to be. There used to be gun stores in Times Square.
Shut up.
Yeah, man. I remember Times Square the way it used to be now. Prostitutes, pimps, and hoes, baby.
Oh
Guns.
man.
I remember that
Damn.
shit. You know what I'm saying?
I
But there used to
don't.
be gun stores there. Yeah. And now there are still some gun stores in New York, but they tend to only cater to police officers.
I see.
You know what I'm saying? But there are at least two or three there, but you can't own handguns or you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if you can own you because people who live in the five boroughs, excuse me, they hunt. So you could probably own a
I
rifle.
didn't even
You
fucking know that. I
probably
don't know
own.
anybody that hunts.
My one of my older brothers he hunts. You know what I'm saying. But I don't know.
Damn.
Like I said, I'm trying to learn how to hunt. I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
many people that hunt. So
I don't either.
you know what I'm
I
saying?
I
But there's
I wish I could help
classes
you.
you can take up. No, there's classes I can take up here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's
I can go
cool.
right to the gun
But
store and take a
but
hunting
that's
course.
part of their life though. It's part of you
Right.
guys' life.
Right.
That's not.
So,
I get it.
what I learned was if you take the proper precautions and you learn and you teach you know what I'm saying, you allow yourself to be taught, you
Yeah.
too can be a good shot. And you can
Hmm.
now I'm also of the opinion that if I ever have to use this gun to actually hurt somebody, I'm going to need a load of therapy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I only got it for literally home defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going out there waving and you know what I'm saying? Like but I understand firearm usage now. And I
Yeah.
understand it in a way that I didn't before I moved here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not against people having firearms. I'm not.
I'm against some people
I
having them.
No, yeah, of course. I think people who are of sound mind should have it, you know? I just am not, I'm just not for it. Like, I like to leave, like, I don't anticipate, God forbid, I really don't anticipate somebody trying to come up into my apartment
Right.
with a fucking gun. Like,
Right.
that's not something I'm anticipating.
Right.
And if something like that is happening, hopefully, I don't even want to talk about that. The
Right.
point is that there's things in place, right, to prevent things like that from happening.
Yes, indeed.
Or to prevent, like, I have security here. If I'm feeling unsafe, I should be able to call the cops, right? Like, I just don't like it. I don't like
But
guns in the house.
it feels weird for you to want to dial 911, though, don't it?
Oh, hell fucking yeah.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
like
not.
I know it's an emergency, but I kind of can't wait.
If I need to have cops on the scene, I would probably call the cops. But if it's everything else, like, you just learn now, right? Like, if I see somebody having an episode, I'd probably not call the cops,
Right.
and call some other emergency place.
I
There's just
mean,
more things, the more you know. Like, now that I think everybody's just learning now that you don't have to call the cops for everything. And I don't know. I don't think I'll be.
Are you one of those defund the police people?
Yeah.
Really? You think that would be a good
Yes.
idea?
Here's what I think.
All right. What do you mean by defund, though? Let's ask.
I was gonna get into that. So I believe that if terminology is important, right? If they used any other thing and it had the same meaning, I'm still gonna be for it. I feel, especially in New York City, I can't attest to any other state, but especially in New York City, we have so many cops. Our cops have so much fucking gear. I don't feel, and our people are just targeted, And if you're not Black and brown, you can't understand it. You should be able to, because you can see it. There's some things that are really just black and white. You know what I'm saying? I do think that in New York State, they can allocate a lot more to other things. To our communities, to education, to preschool, to free lunches, like for people who don't have it like that. I just think that they can definitely put a lot more money geared toward other things. The cops don't need all this money. So I'm not saying police shouldn't have any money. I'm saying make all this taxpayer money, make it make sense. You don't
want to abolish
provide them more training. Absolutely not. Okay. Absolutely not. I don't, and I think that that's kind of a conversation people have to have. But don't nitpick because I'm fucking saying defund the police.
Right.
When it's just not the same thing.
Instead of saying,
and I'm not gonna act like people care more about cops, because they fucking don't. Because we saw that happen a couple weeks ago in DC. They don't care about their cops. So don't come at me about defund the police. Yeah. That's all I say about it.
And I don't say anything. I'm not a fan of that either. I don't want to live in a world where the police aren't there, but I also recognize
me either
that perhaps instead of them, like, maybe, all right, so boom, there should be nothing in the budget of a police department for a fucking tank. Okay, there should be
for what? Why would
I'm saying there should be nothing in the police department budget for that. You know what I'm saying? There should be nothing in the like some of these things are just excessive, right? But I am of the opinion also that the police should be more funded for more training. And but their training should be like, it shouldn't be a 6-week course to get out of the police academy. Right?
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? You should have to spend at least a year and change just in training before you ever even touch the fucking joint. And then
there's so many things that have to be better with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Training on the job as well. 20% of your time. You know what I'm saying? And these things should be mandatory, where you're going to tactical training, where you're going to de-escalation trainings, you know what I'm saying, where you're going to therapy, not just when you do shoot somebody or heaven forbid have
Yeah.
to, but when you're just starting out, just to make sure that you're okay. Like you should always be able to check in, or you know what I'm saying, and say
Yeah.
like, I see these things happening in the neighborhood. Just talk these things out. I think a large part of the problem is, and I hate the term toxic masculinity. I hate that fucking term
Why? That
because
exists. That's a real thing.
it exists in a bubble like most things. It's very subjective. But what I've come to understand is that guys were told as kids, stop crying like a girl, right?
Mhm.
Which means that that young boy does not learn how to process his emotions properly, so that he becomes a well-adjusted adult that can process his emotions properly, because he was
Yeah.
told to stop crying like a girl
Yeah.
or shut that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you weren't allowed, you're not allowed as young boys to be able to cry and say why you're sad or explain
Definitely.
like why you think all these kids always got tummy aches. It's because they have anxiety and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we're never allowed to be emotional as well, which leads to emotionally stunted adults. You know what I'm saying? Furthermore,
Exactly.
I think the first question on any police exam should be something akin to, how much time did you spend in lockers as a kid, or put people in, or how many people did you put in lockers as a kid, proverbially? Something like that. And the reason I say that is because if you were bullied, once you attain power, chances are you will then become the bully. And
That's
if
right.
you were a bully, unless somebody punched you in your face, you're still going to be a bully. You know what
It's
I'm
true.
saying? And
It's
though,
true.
but proper psychiatric evaluation, like true psychiatric evaluation, and a longer length of time, like something akin to like Buds and the SEALs almost. Like, you know what I mean?
I
Like something akin to that, where you get a chance to really observe how people are, and you can kind of see, all right, yeah, no, he's a racist douchebag. Let's get him the fuck out of here. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Like you
here's the thing
need
too, like,
more time with these people.
but who they my issue with police, not generally, is they over police, like, and they do. I just feel like they're living up to what they were made for. You know what I'm saying? Like throughout history. So, like, I just cops. Yeah, what do they need to be around for? To keep the peace?
I don't
Like,
know
they're
about,
not
well,
solving
I mean,
crimes.
let's look at the optics.
They're not preventing crimes from happening.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
they're a reactionary force, because if they were
Yeah,
proactive, that would violate the Fourth and 14th Amendment.
but okay,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? If they, because then,
I need the same way that I feel like I argue for black and brown people to not just have equality but equity.
right,
Like, cops just need to be consistent.
sure.
Like, I just feel like we require consistency. If you can just show up um to a suburban neighborhood and not kill somebody, maybe you should do that in the cities too. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
the natural
Like,
innate,
don't just
that fear that they feel, I think it is definitely fear, but that's instilled from them, from their upbringing. You know what I'm saying? And they never got a chance to proverbially be in a foxhole with somebody and see that no matter what color or whatever you are, like, yo, you still just a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
that,
think, I think a lot of times we like I said, I think a lot of times if the police were more proactive, that would violate rights, right? Because
yeah,
you
for
would,
sure.
because then they would just be like, all right, he looks like he's committing crimes or whatever. Now, I can say in my few dealings with the police, right? I personally can't say that I felt like it was racist, right? Like I can say I personally don't feel like I have really felt that racist vibe in my life. Now, is it
Yeah,
because of the color of my skin and the way that I speak? Possibly.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? But I also recognize that it does indeed happen, and colorism, like in the book,
Is
is indeed a
very
thing.
real.
It's very real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do I benefit from being a beige fella? Probably. You know what I'm saying? But I also recognize I've been arrested a few times too, mostly five.
Yeah.
But
One of the things I think about all the time, and I think that but that's not normal. You know
no,
what I'm saying?
no, it's
Like, I don't want to normalize that type of shit. Like,
right, right.
even my before, my man and I had this other car, and our windows were really tinted
Oh,
against the law. Against the
mhm.
law.
Of course.
But whenever we be in my old neighborhood in Manhattan, in Chelsea, I I've never been bothered by cops
Right.
ever, 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 ever.
It's
And
Chelsea.
again, exactly right. Um, like, in order to be bothered by cops in Chelsea, you got to be doing some shit.
Mm-hmm.
But every time we get close to here, right on the corner, we get stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, your tints are too dark. Yeah.
yeah, and and there's definitely, the policing is different depending on where you go.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well, that's
we
why.
got another car,
Yeah.
and my man used to drive up to the Bronx to see some friends, and I'd never forget that he was telling me about how a cop, at the time he had a Mercedes, and a cop kind of just rolled up on them because he was like pulled up by a pump, but he was standing right outside his car. Just other factors in play, but like, just over policing. If you're
Yeah.
passing by, pass by. Make sure no shady shit is happening. But
Right.
don't make comments about the car and about who the driver is and how much it is and all this other shit. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, there's just
Well,
obvious
there's a way to
things.
do that and not be a dick about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I also feel like people with power or with authority,
Mm-hmm.
people feel like they could be, and
Oh yeah.
I just don't come from that.
Yeah.
Like, I just think it's just, it's too much in New York,
Right.
and I'm sure in plenty of other places that we've seen too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the whole 2020, it's just,
The
they're just doing the most.
year of
So don't get
hindsight.
your feelings hurt. And I, to a degree, to a very small degree, I sympathize with police officers. I'm like, fuck, you guys don't really get paid much. You're being
No.
called to handle somebody who is fucking having a mental breakdown, or an episode, and but your first thing, like, you obviously lack training,
Well,
but there's some type of, there has to be accountability too.
it does, but now think of it like this, right? And because I agree, like I think they have to start putting the person before the badge. I think that the people who police the neighborhood should come from the neighborhood.
I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying? I think that there should be an acceptable measure of this is what I'm saying, of what true crime is like. But I'm like I said, I'm kind of recalcitrant. I think their only real crime is murder and rape. Like that's the only crime I really think of. Like I mean, don't rob me, but there you go. But
Yeah.
if you remember, I used to work at 7-Eleven, right? And a lot
Yeah, I
of
remember.
and I met a lot of cops there.
Yeah.
And I'm a nosy bastard, so I'll ask you, how many times have you pulled your service weapon, or and the main answer I usually got was zero.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And what I also discovered is that them, like most people, just want to go home, hug their kids, hug their wife or girlfriend or whatever the case may be, and just drink a beer and forget their 12-hour day or 14-hour
Yeah.
day. You know what
I
I'm
get
saying?
it.
So they're people too. But again, those people who
But
police the
there are
neighborhood,
jobs
right,
that
right,
you can't be average in. That's
right.
not a
No,
job
you have
I
to be an
want. And
exceptional human being. You should be an
exactly.
exceptional human being to be a police officer. I want the
Your
same,
average EMT.
yeah.
You should
I want the
not.
same level of skill and ability in my police officers that I get in Navy SEALs. Like I want that. Like I want that level of discipline and structure and respect and
Exactly.
job. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I want it to be, but I also don't want them to be like uber militarized.
No,
I
no,
want
no,
that
of course not.
discipline.
But there should
And
definitely be
the
structure.
the dude who you are now about to have running for mayor, Andrew Yang,
Hmm.
who I personally like. I like that dude. I'd have voted for his ass.
Yeah.
Um,
I
uh,
knew he wasn't gonna win, but go ahead.
he no, not at all. But he has an idea that I think is really, really good.
He has
Um,
ideas that are good.
honestly, and the one is that you should be at least a purple belt in some martial art, jujitsu or some jujitsu, judo or something like that before you can be a police officer, right?
Really?
Because Brazilian jiu-jitsu is there's no striking involved. It's all grabs and submission takedowns and everything like that. But by the time you've reached a purple belt in any martial art, you've you've been humbled. You know what I'm saying? And you've got discipline and self-respect and respect for others because these are the tenets of martial arts. You know what I'm saying? And if and you won't make a purple belt if you don't exude those tenets. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like self-respect, self-discipline. You know what I'm saying? Like these things matter. And these are the
Yeah.
things I want in the police. I want self-discipline. I want self-respect. I want them to have respect
Yeah.
for others. I want them to be warriors. And in order to
Yeah.
be a warrior, you got to get to that point where you've been humbled a few times, where somebody's choked you out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then
I get it.
you gotta tap out. You know what I'm saying? But that's humility. That allows you, and what that allows you to do is see other people in the same way. Like, yo, I don't have to do this, and it gives you necessary skills to be a cop. Because honestly, if you look at a lot of police officers, some of them are very soggy about the midsection. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
You're so
Like
stupid.
honestly, like like I said, they're average people. You know what I'm saying? You
Definitely.
should not be
Definitely.
average in that job. And
I agree.
I'm not using I'm separating detective work because detectives are a different breed. You know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying? Like detectives are detective. Their job is to piece together puzzles. I have a straight love and affection for the craft, the art of detection. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Sherlock Holmes, love that
I love Sherlock Holmes. I
guy.
love Sherlock Holmes. I just feel there has to be a higher level of expectation
Hmm.
from who we call cops,
Right,
from who we call police officers.
right,
Like it's not enough to just go through training.
right.
Like one of the I don't think about it often, but when I was in high school, I dated this guy, and he was very much a dick. Not to me,
Hmm.
not to me. Um, but just to to people, to
Yeah,
friends.
yeah.
And I saw how he was very cocky and not just about in looks,
Condescending.
but yeah.
Yeah.
So I and I don't know. It wasn't. He's a cop today,
Mm.
and that's what's scary to me.
Mm.
So again, it's not like he was punching people off and shit like that. It wasn't that crazy. I was only 16. He was like 15 or something like that.
Right.
But I today I'm able to think back and recognize those behaviors like, oh, that shit wasn't cool. So the shit that we were laughing about at the time is
Hmm.
actually kind of fucked up,
Right.
you know?
But
But and he's a cop now.
right, but
So
you would
I feel
hope.
like I would hope that he changed and grew
Right,
up.
like if you've
But
grown, you would hope he has as well, but you can't guarantee that.
no, of
You
course
know what I'm
not.
saying? And
But
that's
because of who I
the
knew who he was at the time,
right.
if he's still like that as a cop, that's a problem.
Hmm.
Like I just think that there has to be more. The standard has to be better
Right.
for people
More
who are gonna be cops, you know?
right. So more training, more abilities, you know what I'm saying? A lot
I
of
think they have to
therapy.
change the whole infrastructure.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm telling you, not just you, but when I was in college, I took a lot of Africana studies classes. I
mm,
should have majored in that. I don't know why I didn't. But I learned so much, Frank.
mm,
Like it's it's ridiculous. So the amount of just the things that I thought I knew, or people really just take things at face value and don't know what the origins are
Right.
or why this is like this. And it's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely insane. So I just, if I'm not saying don't give them money, I'm saying they don't need that much money.
Yeah.
And it's not like the actual police officers see that shit. Like a lot of it goes to departments and
Right.
fucking
Right.
gear.
Right.
And
You
so
but
it's not,
I
it's
think
their fault. They
yeah.
need to be able to
Well,
prioritize.
another large problem is the police union. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck that
I
union.
don't have a problem with unions in general, but that one specifically is kind of fucked up. I think that
Yeah.
they,
I don't know much
yeah.
about them.
Well, I mean, basically, it's like from what I can tell, it's like you have these people that will, no matter what you do, will make sure that you don't get fired for it, type shit. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, and I know that that's I think there's a lot of graft in a lot of places still. Um, I think there's still a lot of quid pro quo going on between city elected
Ab-
officials and
absolutely.
this type of shit. Now, again, hey, look, I can't prove any of that. This is just my thoughts, right? I just feel like everything needs an overhaul. You know what I'm
I
saying? We
agree.
we need a straight reset of everything in this country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it has to be representative for everybody.
We
That's
need a
the
new
issue.
continental Congress. Honestly, that's what I think we do need. And
It's
and I think a lot of the people, like, honestly, we need term limits for senators and all that shit. They gotta have term limits. The judici
I
the
agree.
the Supreme Court should not be a lifetime appointment. Like that's just dumb. I'm sorry. Because rest in peace to RBG, but
Yeah.
she should not have been a judge still. like she's
I
like
don't see why. Why not? Why
because your
not?
judgment starts to go as you get older.
But she wasn't losing her brain. She
I'm
was
not
just
saying she's
ill.
losing her brain or she was ill. What I'm saying is she just got
No, I'm saying
old.
she was
Right,
ill.
she was
But
ill, but I'm saying she got
stop, that's
older.
ageism.
It's not
So
again, it's not ageism.
she's still able to
That
do
should
her
not
job.
that should not be a lifetime appointment for anybody.
I think changes should happen. I do.
You know what I'm
I do.
saying? Like that
I
should be
also, yeah,
that should
I
be a
don't disagree
10
with you.
year thing. Like any judgeship should be a 10-year thing. You should not have a job for the rest of your fucking life, especially again as you get older and your
Yeah,
faculties start to go. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like I'm
And
not
I do think that it's important for term limits because things change with the times.
yeah.
So, but I, I, I'm not against it, and I'm for it, and I'm against it. I think
Right.
it's more. I think there are definitely things that have happened before, like just the way people kind of uphold, let's say policies. I
Right.
don't want to just say laws, but
Right.
there are things that I think an older person would have a better take on. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mm,
do think that there should be like a
well,
mixture of,
you'll have to give me a for example. You have to give me an example for that.
well, okay. Um, I guess like AOC. For me, she's a breath of fresh air in Congress.
Right.
You know? Like I think that she can really she's on with the times, like she's on social media talking to her base, where the older people, they should hire people to help them on social media, right?
Okay.
To connect with their base. But the older people, their older base is not really hearing from them, but they
Right.
still have those people who are going to vote for them because they're old, because they've been there forever.
Exactly.
So I think it is important to have to I think it is important to have term limits, but there
Everybody
should
should be
be a
more
mixture
engaged.
of representation, you know?
Sure. But I don't,
That's
what I'm
all.
saying is, people, I want basically everybody who's here to have a voice. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Immigrant, illegal immigrant, fucking, well, maybe not illegal immigrant, but hell yeah, even them too, because they still deserve rights as well. You know what I'm
they
saying?
do.
Gay, straight, les, trans, whatever, all that shit. Like everybody,
Yeah.
but the truth is, everybody should come to the table. Women and representative from each state and representative from every joint, and not
Yeah.
everybody, but again, like, let's get the best and brightest. Let's not get them just because. I don't want Lil
Yeah.
Wayne there.
Free
You
reign.
understand what I'm saying? I don't want Lil Wayne there. I don't want fucking rappers there. You know what I'm saying?
Not, I don't know. I like Two
Well,
Chainz.
maybe Ice Cube and Tip. I'll take them. You know what I'm saying? I like Ice
This is my
Cube.
point. Like, I think that like we can't box people out.
No, but
It
what I'm
has to
saying
be an inclusive
is,
thing. I
right,
know what you're
but I
saying.
want
I
average. I
agree
want
with
the
you.
average person to have a voice, and not just be. I don't want it to just turn
You
into.
are reasonable people.
Yeah, I want reasonable adults. You know what I'm saying? And then, just to be fair, maybe have a couple kids there, because there are things that kids might understand that we don't think they
You
do.
pushing it.
Well, think about it like this: how many kids are already using the internet and all that shit? There's probably kids out here that are smarter than me right now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but I'm not trying to have a kid talk about laws and shit.
No, no,
Fuck
not
that.
laws. I'm just saying rights. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about a new Bill of Rights almost. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about rights for children as well. Like, they shouldn't be predated upon. They should have rights too. Now, they should, and not just the right to sit down and shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the only rights I had. You got the right to shut the fuck up. That was my right. That was it.
For real, for real.
But,
That's actually really funny.
you know what I mean? But they should have some rights too. They should have some say in the way that their country that they're gonna grow into is shaped. You know what I'm
But they
saying?
will
No, they really
eventually.
won't. Because who the fuck listens to kids?
I said eventually.
Yeah, that's look. Not in our lifetime, and it needs to happen now,
I don't
because.
know. With my sisters, what I appreciate is that I feel like they're raising their children
Mhm.
way differently. You
Like
know?
we were raised.
Like,
Oh, sure.
yeah, I don't think I was raised so terribly, but I do remember them saying, you don't get in adult business.
Right.
And then when I think about it, like today, I'm like, why were they having adult conversations in front of me? Like, why are
Exactly.
you
Like,
not just sending me somewhere?
right.
So when I talk to my nieces and nephews, like I'm one making sure that if I'm talking about something that is beyond them, it's probably just politics, like
Right.
just social shit,
Right.
but never like deep adult conversations that I know they shouldn't be present for, because I'm not trying to check them. Like,
Right.
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to your mom. I'm not trying to do that, Like,
Right.
I
But,
like that they're teaching them that they
but
have rights,
right.
how they feel matters. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right. That's
Um and there's still boundaries. Like, there
right.
has to be boundaries.
Well,
But,
what's funny? My niece, her daughter just turned 18. Right?
Shizer,
Yeah, man, it's crazy to me.
that is kind of crazy.
But like, her daughter will still like tell her, like, or ask, basically like ask her permission to go places and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at first I'm like, yo, you're 18. What the fuck? Why are you asking anybody permission? Like, no. But then I'm like, you know what? The human brain doesn't fully develop until you're actually like 25.
That's
So
right.
you're still a stupid kid throughout most of that. So yeah, no, you know what?
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. You know what I'm saying? Not
Yeah.
saying,
And
like, all kids are basically just fucking blobs of dumb. But
I don't think so, but
no,
okay.
I mean, like,
It is
your,
funny.
your brain is still alert. You're still developing your brain, so you
Definitely.
know what I mean. So you're still learning, even to that 20. You know what I'm saying? When your brain finally forms, it's like, oh, that's when you start to click and get everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Heaven help you if you're still using fluoride. Uh oh.
Oh,
Did
Sorry.
Oh, I'm about to say, is your phone down? No, but heaven
It's
help you if you're still
dying.
using
It's
fluoride.
dying.
Oh
Yeah.
man, iPhone.
I still don't use fluoride. Shut up. I've been up all day. But yeah, I don't use fluoride.
Good job, good girl. Yeah,
Well, Ben, right? I feel like since
man,
we
that's good. I mean,
yeah.
well, you know what? Damn, damn, we've been talking for like 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah, it's 8:30.
That's funny. Oh
Um,
shit. It's
yeah,
late.
man, get some rest. But listen, Melly Mel, I
Yeah.
want to thank you for joining me
Well,
in
yeah,
this.
this was fun.
This has
It
been a
was nice talking to you.
yeah, man. This was a very good one. I enjoyed it, and
It, Dang, you were
I,
right. Time really does fly,
I'm
right? When
telling
you're
you.
like, oh, like, that was just mid conversation. What the fuck?
I'm saying,
That's
like,
funny.
yeah, man, but no, man, like it's interesting, man. Like 2020, I call it the year of hindsight, and especially with everything that went on, and I realized that it's a lot. It's incumbent upon me, and just to make sure that I keep in touch with the people that I care about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I lost my brother, and
definitely.
I lost my brother, and I hadn't spoken to him in a while. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of coming to grips with that. Um,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
and the truth, I ain't gonna lie. The truth is, in the grand scheme of things, I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm
yeah,
more concerned about his daughter and his wife. So as long, what I mean, I just hope they're all right. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie,
yeah, yeah,
I'm not the biggest fan of his wife, but also not. I mean, I don't want that. That was his wife. He loved her. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, yeah.
that's family, man. So I you know, um, but
I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks.
no, man, it's okay. But again, it's just shown me that those that are precious to me have to. I got to make sure I keep in contact, and I count you among those people. So
Oh, thank you,
you're
Frank.
very welcome, man.
Thank
And
you.
like I said, next time we do this, I mean, shit, you're more than welcome to come on anytime you want. I always need people to interview.
We gotta do it on a weekend. That might be the best thing,
Okay,
because I'll
okay,
be free on weekends.
all right. Well, I mean, I
But
work.
yeah,
I work. I work at Home Depot, so I fucking work.
oh, that's good though.
Yeah, well, I work at the warehouse.
So what though?
Yeah, no, I love it. It's good. They pay very well.
You're
I,
so stupid.
I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy my job. I
Yeah,
actually do.
yeah.
I actually enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? And
No, for me, that's all that matters, right?
yeah, and while I'm in there,
Like,
I be looking at stuff that I want. Like, ooh, I could use this air filter. That's nice.
yeah, yeah. And whatever upgrades you feel like you're gonna be doing, that's probably the best place to be working at.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
They got doors and shit. I need doors, but I'm serious, man. I love my office. Like you see, I set up my office. It's got my vibe. It's me.
Yeah,
Uh,
I dig it.
I love it here, but I'm very happy, and I can't lie. Like I said, it's good, and like if I need to come to New York, I can get there pretty quickly. But
Yeah.
the only thing I miss about New York really is bodegas. To be honest with you,
I'm telling you, there's nothing like it.
there's nothing like
Not
a
even
bodega.
nothing like it, no
That
matter where you go.
whether
So
it's Spanish cats or the ox, don't matter. It's a bodega.
I'm telling you, there's just basic necessities you
Yeah,
need, and that for me, that's one of it. I'm never leaving New York.
we don't have. I ain't gonna lie. There are no corner stores here like that. Like we have smoke shops, and
Yeah,
you
those
got
are popping up a lot here.
yeah because they're y'all about to legalize pot.
I can't wait.
Me neither. They trying to do it here too because Jersey already did it. So
Jersey
yeah,
did it. How are they ahead of the curve? Like
well,
that's
because
crazy.
Jersey's fucking Jersey, and they do what the fuck they want. All right. If Florida's the
I
balls sack, then Jersey's the armpit. They just be doing shit.
That's true. That's true. It's true. We can't. I don't want. Thank God we're neither one of those places. So we need to get on
No.
board with that
I got
process.
mad love for Jersey too, man. Shout out to my homies in Jersey, man. But You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, we got to do this again. This was fun.
Yeah, man. Anytime. Listen, man. But we can definitely do it on the weekend. And like I said, as the spring and summer comes, hopefully this whole thing will be over, and you know we'll be able to actually see each other, and
I
you know what I'm
know, I
saying, a
know.
meal and shit, man. Because
Yeah,
hey,
that'd be dope.
word,
I'm
man.
always down for a road trip.
I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Bring the hook,
Yeah.
man. Come on up. You know what I mean? We can finally smoke. Well, I ain't gonna lie. At this point, you know, who the hell shares weed anymore? But pass
For
it.
real.
Go young,
For
girl.
real. I haven't smoked in that long. I do edibles now.
Oh,
That's more
can't
my
do it. You
thing.
should be having me stuck.
It's just for me, it's about like my throat. So even
Mm-hmm.
when I drink like liquor, I
Mm-hmm.
notice I don't think it's with age, but I just notice I'm like, damn, I'm a little hoarse.
Well, you get those,
So
you get the throat polyps, especially if you're somebody like us. We talk a lot, so
yeah,
you know what I mean. That's what
for
Busta Rhymes.
sure.
That's what Busta Rhymes had. He had throat polyps. That's why his voice sounds different on that last album. You know what I'm saying? He had to have a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
I know you.
I'm not really a fan,
A
but
Busta Rhymes. I'm not a fan of Busta Blood Clot.
yeah, some songs, but not really.
Ah, sad, sad,
But anyway,
sad.
I know
But
I got growing up to do.
yeah, listen, don't get me to send in your music. Be like, why am I listening to the Doors? Like, what the fuck is this? Like,
Nah, I'll probably give it a shot.
oh, the Doors is dope. Kansas is good. I love Bob Seger. Guns N' Roses, Aerosmith, all that shit. You know,
Yeah.
I've just been, like I said, I fell down a Demi Lovato hole, which caused me to fall down the Ariana Grande hole, which caused me to
Well,
fall.
that's my
Yeah,
bitch.
man. Like, you know what's funny? I, do you know Doja Cat?
That's my bitch.
Okay. Do you know why she was like canceled for a while? I fucking hate cancel culture so fucking much.
Me too.
Oh my
Me
god,
too.
that shit is nerve wracking.
I know. I know. That's a whole nother
Like, yo,
conversation.
yeah, it is. Like, yo, leave me alone for some shit I said 7 years ago. I ain't the same cat I was a week ago, so leave me the fuck alone. Like,
Yeah, I know. That's why you have to. There should there's room for error. People are always growing. I don't believe that. There's a lot more to go to that too. But
mm,
I'm not trying to step on people or play people to get
right,
where I need to get to. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Um, but yeah, I'm not for cancel culture. I think people can be redeemed. Um, I just don't like to be the judge of everything,
Right,
you
right.
know.
That ain't
But
my that ain't
I'm
my
still not
gig.
fucking with Trump though.
Right. I mean, like I said, I'll give him his kudos for the things he did that were good, and the rest, you know. But
You know, okay.
I
It's
listen.
good. It was time for him to
Like
go.
any decent human being,
Yeah.
I wish him the best. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I hope he and his family are good and stay healthy, and they, handle the coming storm admirably.
I don't care.
I don't see that happening. But no, honestly,
Yeah.
like I say, man, just as a decent human being, I always hope they, hope for the best of them, and because like I said, I
Yeah.
don't want to wish ill on anybody. I don't care. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no, I
You know,
don't
I
either.
can't.
But he gotta pay for some stuff.
I mean,
That's
definitely,
it.
but I'm not gonna. But I'm not going. Like I said, it's not my place to judge you. That ain't my gig. There's a cat daddy up there that's got that on smash. So
I agree.
I let him do
I
it.
agree.
I let him do his work. You know what I'm saying? I just let the universe do what it do, man.
For real.
Melly Mel,
Yeah.
mwah! Love you,
I
girl.
know.
Many
This was
blessings.
good.
Thank
Love you
you
too. Let me
again.
know for the next time, okay?
Oh, definitely, definitely will. Word up. Be good,
You
man.
have a good night. You
You
too.
too, man. This is Melanie Almeyda. I, of course, am Frank Starfire. This is the Just to Be Frank podcast. Thank you for joining us, y'all. One love. Abracadabra. Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Frank Starfire. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you heard, do me a favor. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and then share the living shit out of this. Or keep it to yourself so you can be that much smarter than everybody else. Also, do me a favor, hit the links in the description so that you can get some more great content from me and some of my friends. And feel free to drop a line in the comments, even if it's just to tell me that I'm a fucking moron. Thanks for watching. One love, abracadabra.